Welcome to the Late Night with Chalky podcast.
Friends and family, brothers and sisters, welcome to the Late Night with Chalky podcast.
Our guest this week is one of the most unique characters in the surf world. He's an aggressive stock day trader, we've heard. We'll talk about that. A conspiracy theorist on just about every topic. We'll talk about that. He's a passionate amateur archaeologist. He's a part-time janitor for a school district and an actor. But more than anything, he is the most core surfer we know.
He is a core fucking lord.
Yeah. For over 30 years, he's been traveling the globe scoring perfect waves, whether he's consistently glued to Surfline or developed some secret formula, blending wind, swell, waves, tide data, I don't know. But if you know he's in the lineup, you're at the right spot.
I have heard that before.
Yeah, totally.
His uncanny ability to quick strike the world's best swells come down to a secret weapon, his ultra rare golden ticket airline pass. We're gonna have to hear about that, which has unlocked access to everybody's bucket list wave on the planet. He has scored countless good waves. We welcome the most interesting man in the surfing world, Mr. Tom REZZY Rezvan.
Hey guys.
Hey,
That was a big introduction. I don't know. I have
you
to
know,
verify this.
that's how we roll because we got a lot to
okay.
talk about, and I
Okay.
want to kind of set the, the tone of
The record
all the
straight.
cool different.
Yeah.
And REZZY is R-E-Z-Z-Y, right?
Yes.
Is that how you like it spelled? REZZY?
I don't even know how that spelling came up, but yes, I'll take it. Yes. That's a good point. I don't know.
And it's just kind of a hyphenated, like shorter, last name, right?
Yeah, friends were calling me that, Rez or Rezzy, so I went with it instead of trying to explain my last name, Rezvan. So I was like, it's got the Z and the V, so it's just so much easier with just Rez or Rezzy. Yeah.
It's a unique last name. What ethnicity or
Yeah, it's a
background?
Persian, Iranian. That's where I was born.
Were you born in Iran?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
There's another unique intro.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
When did you move here?
Okay, so about 1980.
Okay.
So I was around 4.
5, 6?
Yeah, 4 or 5. And
Both parents Iranian? Or?
no. This is an interesting story. So I found out I was adopted in my early 40s from my dad who had dementia, and he had a heavy stroke, and during the recovery process years later, he told me, and I had it confirmed from an uncle and my mom, because my mom couldn't have kids. My mom's Dutch, so she's extremely Caucasian. She's born in Amsterdam, and my dad is Persian, but I was adopted at 6 months, and yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
You didn't have any other siblings?
Well, they adopted my sister as well first.
Okay.
At the same orphanage, and then came back for me, I think 3 years later. And my sister's not related to me, and she's really Caucasian. So if you go beyond mainstream media, in Iran, there's a lot of like light-skinned people. They're like the 100% Persians. Since then, there's been a big mix of Arabic nations that have intermixed, so they're darker skinned. That's why I get this weird neck tan. You'll see that I'm really light skinned underneath, and then I get the neck tan.
You bronze well.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I don't have to worry about the skin cancer, I guess. But yeah, so I did a DNA test, and it says I'm 99% Persian, which is rare for Persians. Most of them are mixed with Arabic.
Yeah.
And
most
then
everybody's mixed no matter where you're at.
yeah,
So
you're
maybe
100%.
Japan or China.
Yeah, like I have it's 99%. So, and then what's going even deeper, like
You just got 100% more interesting though.
Yeah.
well, yeah.
99%.
Yeah,
That's a bit. I wanted to start it off from the beginning. So
No,
No,
that's good.
totally.
So it's all ancient aliens. So I guess in Iran, the first religion was Zoroastrianism, which had like the bearded gods with the wings, and it was the first belief in one god, monolithic. Is that what you call that? It was called belief in one god. It predates all the mainstream religions, and anyways, yeah, I guess Iran means land of the Aryans, which doesn't mean what you think it is.
Not German area.
It doesn't mean neo-Nazi. Yeah. So I guess those people did visit Iran back in the World War II. Took certain things. Just the whole Indiana Jones stuff is kind of real. how the Germans were looking for different artifacts and stuff from the Bible. It is actually true. So
I heard that too. Like when they
so the quest for the Ark
they
of the
did come
Covenant.
to they came to Iran. They believed like the Aryan race was this like out of outer space, and it had nothing to do with blonde hair, blue eyes, and whatnot. So it's Aryan means noble.
I'm already really liking this interview.
So
that's your little ancient aliens archaeological stuff right there. Okay.
Before you go down like
the rabbit
even
hole.
more, we love it.
All right.
How did you take that when your dad told you? Was it like
my world was already upside down? I had already taken care of him for maybe 6 years. I had to keep moving my dad. He had dementia. I was going broke supporting him. He was already broke from the get-go, and I was already upside down. I think I was even living in a hotel for 3 weeks, just I gave everything, like my retirement, everything from my job. And then this news come out, and I was like, why is this all collapsing down on me right now? So,
but at that point, I mean, regardless of the bloodline, like he's your dad. He raised
100%.
You,
No.
I think that's a good thing to like.
I agree with you 100%. So
but still,
the shock. I was like, I'm already going through everything from every angle. Why not just throw some more at it? And so, my dad. I was totally grateful that my parents adopted me, because it could have been a horrible family upbringing. I could have been stuck, maybe in a third world country, totally broke or with abusive parents. So
for sure.
I'm stoked they came here, and. I mean, it's easy to make a child. It's difficult to be a father, and that's what my dad was. And he never had a kid of his own, even though he had the ability to. He stayed true to my mom, so that's so huge.
Take us back. Now, do you remember, or did you come over here as a baby, or like?
He was like 5.
Yeah, I have vague memories, very like small memories of like. At age 4, at that time, I just remember small things. They're very, like, my uncle maybe reading me storybooks. The place I think we lived in was big, I think, back when my dad had money.
Are we talking here in
the
States?
No, we're talking Iran. That's all I remember, vague little things. And then I remember traveling over. I think, lived in Amsterdam for a few months and learned Dutch and went to a preschool there.
Wow.
It's weird. And then came to the East Coast in Virginia, and stayed with my uncle who had already been living there. One of my uncles with my dad, and then we loaded up a Volkswagen Rabbit with a U-Haul trailer and drove across country to Huntington Beach, where I planted myself since 1980.
And why Huntington? Do you think?
I have no idea. I never got to ask my dad why Huntington, but I'm stoked.
No, for sure.
So kindergarten throughout, I went to every elementary school. Like I started elementary school in Huntington Beach at the proper age, 5.
So your uncle was already here, so he was probably your sponsor for your parents, or how to
He was in the military, U.S. military too. So I don't know. Yeah, he was already here. I don't know the story for that.
Yeah.
He was here, married to an American girl, living in Virginia, and that's all I remember. I remember that being like the first place. But my parents had already been to the U.S. in the '60s. They met in the '60s. In Anaheim, my dad worked in Long Beach as a bellhop. Back when Long Beach was epic, and it was a really clean city. So they'd already been here and met, and then went back, and then finally made the permanent move during the revolution. So that Iran had this revolution.
Yeah. And the Shah guy.
Yeah. Shah. When my dad actually worked for the Shah. So when he had to bail.
You look like you come from the Shah family. And I'm not saying that to be funny, but you have the same look as the Shah.
Yeah, I've seen.
Have you heard that?
Yeah, I've seen his pictures, and I'm like, dude, I'd be stoked to be in that bloodline, but I guess I don't know. I'm a mystery right now.
Can we check?
Yeah, exactly.
So your parents met here years before they adopted your sister. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they went back and adopted you.
And they actually lived there. And then came back here during the revolution.
And how old was your sister?
She'd be 3 years older than me. She's probably 7.
Okay. And then you guys both grew up together.
Yeah, she went to the same elementary school as I did, and high school.
And how did you guys get along? Like,
I really wasn't that close to my sister.
No,
and even more so now because I had to take care of my dad single-handedly, and she bailed out on that, and that really left me. I mean, I didn't expect any money, but at least give me time. If you can't give money, give time. You know what I mean? Because the time that I was spending was, 4 or 5 hours a day, calls at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to come to the ER. I was going to the hospital so enough to be a doctor. I was understanding everything, labs.
Well, what's crazy is, did you ever think or trip at all? Because you didn't find out until you were
40 something, yeah.
But did you ever go up thinking, why am I not like...
Well, mom was light, so...
Yes. Okay, so only a couple times because my mom was so light-skinned. But I just brushed it off and justified it because I get this gnarly neck tan line and wetsuit tan line. I can get pale and sunburn. It's happened in the Mentawais where I got a heat stroke. So I assumed, okay, that might be it. And then my sister was even lighter skinned than me. So, I remember she questioned it because someone at school asked her if she's adopted when she was 8, and it really pissed her off. But, when I asked my mom maybe once or twice in my life, she denied it.
Yeah.
It was going to be a secret until my death.
Now, were you guys were they loving parents? Were they?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Because that's something I'm kind of curious.
100%. They were doing it for protection. I'm actually glad I didn't find out until I was 40, because imagine finding out when you're 15 and you're partying, you're 16,
you're rebelling,
over it,
You're not mentally there.
Actually, it all happened for a reason at the right time. It took me to save my dad's life, finding him on the floor and recovering him, and being mature and older, and then hearing the news, rather than, it's almost like if I didn't save my dad's life, I wouldn't have known. Yeah. That's really weird.
Yeah.
And you would have been well, was he going to take it to the grave, and not tell me?
He would have. Maybe it's the dementia or me taking care of him for so many years that he had to break down. But it's really weird. There was people wanted me to put my dad down in the hospital. I had 4 people in lab coats telling me that I was doing a disservice by keeping him on life support, and even my dad's family were saying I was doing wrong and abandoned me and my dad. Says, if you keep him alive, basically you're on your own. And I kept him alive. He was walking to lowers. He went on helicopter rides to Catalina.
4 years.
Disneyland. He went on for 9 years and 3 months. He went to Disneyland. He went on all 14 rides. And
he should have died. You added 9 years to his life.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, 9 years and 3 months. Yeah, so they bailed out. So I don't know. But anyways,
let's go back. So growing up, you were here 5 years old, elementary school. Mm-hmm. Were you speaking English already?
Yeah, fluent. It's weird. I knew how to speak 3 languages. Wow. I could speak Farsi, Dutch, and English.
What is
fluent? Farsi is Persian.
Okay.
At that time. Now I can understand people arguing bits and pieces. I know it's because you don't practice it. That's math. You don't practice math once you get out of school. You kind of lose that calculus, trigonometry stuff.
Yeah. So I never got that.
As soon as I walked out the door.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I forget about it.
I hear it from my kids now. Never going to use this in my entire life.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm it's okay.
So when did you find surfing? You fucking ended up in Surf City.
Okay, so first I was into skateboarding and BMX. And BMX is
standard.
Yeah, I got the GT bicycle. GT factory was next to my house. We'd go in the dumpster and get GT bike parts. I lived on Golden West and Slater, and Gothard and Slater was GT factory.
Wow.
GT was at its peak. They do demos at our elementary school. So yeah, I was into biking. I got really good at it. And I didn't understand sponsorship or any of that, but I have pics of me doing literally surfing on the bike with a foot on the handlebars and another foot on the seat.
Yeah.
And I could do that at age 9 with no helmet or pads. And
was it Thrashing, the movie that was it?
Rad. It was Rad.
Okay.
So Rad was a huge boost. So I saw Rad. That was before North Shore. So it actually.
What you just explained, we all did. Popping wheelies,
all that,
hauling up curbs, and then doing the handlebar ride. And now you see the kids and they're doing the seat in the drops and all it's this
build the jumps
era.
at the park. There'd be jumps at the park you'd hear about, and so that was into the BMX and skateboarding. And I even had Jason Dill, pro skater, skate one of my quarter pipes. I used to build quarter pipes. He went to Mesa View where I went. He was a year younger than me. And,
Jason Dill.
Yeah, pro skater. He'd skate my ramp. When I was 12, and we're all stoked. He had Christ Air on it, and so I was into that.
From Huntington.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
he wrote for DVS when I worked for DVS.
He's huge. Yeah, He went huge. You saw him on the Osbournes. But yeah, I was tripping because I'm like, oh my god, this guy skated my ramp when I was 12, like 88.
Everybody, yeah,
he seemed like he was like from New York or something. He acted
he moved there afterwards.
Okay.
But yeah, it was Huntington, man.
A lot of big skateboarders from Huntington.
Yeah, and Huntington's like core punk music, all that.
Yeah,
sure. I think even like fashion, like the Vans shoes, the checkered Vans shoes. It's Huntington's
like
cool.
even Metallica like lived right here and like here in Newport or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, back in the 80s, the scene was in Huntington. All the snowboarders, all the moto guys, right? Like, what's the moto guy's name? Well, Damian Sanders.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was
The snow guy.
Yeah.
And then the moto guy was what? Twitch or...
I forget. I don't.
But
know.
there's like every single like influential...
sport, yeah.
They were living in Huntington somewhere on the numbered streets.
Huge.
So you were into BMX.
Yeah, so I was into BMX. That went really good, and I just didn't understand like anything about pro and contest, so I never went that route. And now looking at the photos, I'm like, what the hell was I doing? But I'm glad I picked surfing because there's longevity in surfing, and there's also a feeling that I got from surfing on like getting a barrel. But so surfing came in around age 11, and it was the most difficult thing I've ever tried in my life. And it pissed me off how difficult it was.
Did you go with kids from school? From the block?
Yes. So, well, there was 3 kids. The first session I had was with 2 friends from elementary school. I think it was Mesa View, and they're both now. One's a sheriff, one's a cop. Their whole bloodline are in police, law enforcement. So. Yeah, they took me. They were already good. They took me on my first trip to this one guy, Aaron, took me to San Miguel for my first time. That's the first time surfing over a rock, and I was like freaked out. The rocks there.
Aaron and Chris what?
Aaron, and this other guy's named Jeff.
Okay.
But Aaron took me on the trips. He took me to also Cuatro Casas, where there's shipwrecks and all that. And so that was at age like
they're
11.
core then. They're like hard.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was very difficult.
Are they the same age as you or older?
Yeah, 1 year older. I was a complete kook, and then Andre from Huntington, that you guys may know. Yeah, he was already really good. He started 2 years before me. He was already had like 30 trophies, first place.
I haven't heard his name forever. He did.
He was winning the summer. What do you call that? The summer surf contest, super heat against everyone.
And he beat them all.
Yeah, and he made a newspaper. But yeah, he was really good, and
he's from
Huntington.
I know, but ethnicity.
Well, it's funny. He told me he was French throughout our whole. Dude, this is how people are scared to talk about their ethnicity.
Yeah.
Because this is what mainstream media does to people. It makes them scared to talk about the race.
Yeah.
So they lie about the race.
Yeah.
So he told me he was French the whole time because his family spoke French. Turns out he was Egyptian the whole time.
Okay.
All right, but and party rocky. But the thing is like. Welcome to the 80s and 90s where like, you're berated if you came from, anywhere that wasn't Caucasian or you didn't understand it. And our history was mostly lied to in mainstream. Like I didn't know the history of Iran was like, the Caucasus Mountain is in Iran. So if you're Caucasian, like you are from there. Like it's where it started. It's a part Russia,
so
Iran.
The Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah, you could Google it. Yeah.
Is the Caucasian?
Yeah, that's where it came from. The etymology. Anyways,
you
go deep.
I told you this guy's like an encyclopedia.
You go deep down it all, and even magic. The word magic.
He's well read.
Magic, magi come from Iran. So the 3 wise men were magi from Iran that found Jesus. So that's.
Oh no, it's one of the it's kind of the birth of humanity.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's truly that's whatever. So where are we going? With surfing?
Wait,
so they took me surfing.
So Rezvan, is that hyphenated? Is it short?
Here's the interesting thing. I found out that name was, I'm adopted, so it's really not my bloodline last name, but my grandfather is the one who came up with that last name. So no one before my grandfather had that last name. And then I just recently, because of Google, Rezvan means gatekeeper to heaven or heaven. That's what it means. And
in Iranian?
Yeah. You could
Persian?
Google it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it says, what does Rezvan mean? It means
so
gatekeeper to paradise or paradise or what's what it means.
So Persian, Palestinian, Middle Eastern, Jordan, what's the most, the area, it's all Middle East, right?
Yeah, it's all Middle East, but it's where they speak different languages. So that those countries you mentioned speak Arabic. Persians speak Farsi. It's totally different.
What a trip.
Yeah, it's totally separate. There's like mountain ranges, greenery. I mean, if you went to YouTube and typed in, what's Iran like? There's a bunch of Americans that do these YouTube channels.
The photos from like before the
The chicks are
revolution.
firing.
I mean, talking about the sickest
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
decor,
Yeah.
style. They
Yeah.
were so westernized
They were wearing
and
bikinis.
Yeah.
killer cars and beautiful
It
buildings.
was more European.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was modern back then.
Yeah.
And
They were hip.
I even just saw some recent YouTube videos where the chicks weren't covering their hair and just like,
Oh, no,
I was like, what?
It looked
That
like
happened in the 70s,
I
right?
saw it now. I saw like recent videos, like literally taken from a month ago. Chicks not covering their hair. I'm like, I was told you get stoned. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know what's real and what's not. But I have traveled to Egypt and I've gone to Jordan. I have traveled and everyone was super friendly. It was big, cool, and I don't know, and the UAE.
Okay, we're going to get to your
So I don't want
travels.
to jump around. So surfing
surf.
was that Andre, and then Andre was really good, and so I was.
What was
wanted
your
to
first
get better.
board?
It was a Rock and Fig.
Nice.
I bought it at Jack's, and it was a Rock and Fig Chuck Dent, and there was a guy doing like a I don't know, Indie Air or whatever you call it logo, and then it was a 511, and it was just such a difficult thing. There was no surf schools like there is now, so I probably learned on the wrong board. Probably needed a soft top. That
that
didn't
and
exist.
511 probably for your size was huge too.
Yeah.
But they didn't have a lot of kids
Yeah.
boards.
Yeah,
We all learned on
Bigger boards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like learning how to duck dive was a pain in the ass. All that was like, I'm like, you just can't. It's not like baseball where you can like pick up the bat and try to
Practice.
hit. Yeah, and you can't. You got to learn how to get out there, and that was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And
Did you know how to swim?
Yes, I knew how to swim pretty well. But and then the localism thing. So I, tried surfing the pier, and I was like, oh my god, these guys are gnarly. So I went all the way down to like Warner and PCH.
I told you to beat it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, dude, this guy was gnarly. Dude.
I did.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's all going to come out. Mark.
Your drinks are in the fridge. No, you're way cool. So this is like going back to like 1986, 87. So yeah, at that time, I was not good enough.
The guy Aaron took you surfing first?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I drifted apart from him because he's good in all these sports and he went a different direction. By the time I started improving, I was 14. Which, here's the thing, in the 80s, most people were really good by the time that they were probably 12. The gap between 2 and 3 years is massive in learning in anything back when you're young.
Yeah.
So the guys that were really good were probably 9, and they're already in the performers in the back of the mag with their contest results. And I was nowhere near that. So I don't think looking at my footage, I don't think I got good until I was 17, 18, which is way late. Now, if you look at present day, you got to be good by the time you're 6 or 7. Present day, if you're going to go pro by the time you're 6 or 7. It's that the gap just got crazier, and that's a whole different subject.
Yeah.
I mean, it costs a lot of money to get whatever. But so the Andre, and then I started going on my own with meeting more friends that surf. I had a friend
What
Will.
junior high did you go to? Or middle
I went
school?
to Mesa View,
Okay.
which Ryan Turner went there too. Yeah, there's a lot of skating going on there. There's a lot of curves and stuff. A lot of people videoed skate stuff there too. And so yeah, Mesa View. I went to Golden View, Mesa View, and then Ocean View, and then Huntington High School surf class, which was really not normal. So if it wasn't for Andy Verdone, I wouldn't have got good at surfing, for a fact.
Yeah.
Because he let me
Shout out
surf.
Andy Verdone.
Yeah, he let me surf 5 days a week during the school week in his class with guys that were high level, and even it was weird because in those 3 years I did it. It helped me get good at surfing. Then our school would go against them, and I'd end up winning heats against their own guys.
What high school are you going to?
I went to Ocean View, so I'd be trained by Huntington High School, go to Ocean View, and then go against Huntington High School guys, and then win heats, and became one of the All-Stars in that Sunset League.
Huh.
Yeah, there was my kid, middle kid's at sophomore, and the surf team atmosphere is, Verdone's still there and he's epic, but like just the quality of surfers is not like it was back when we grew up.
Not at all. They're all not going to school anymore.
The ones that are really good aren't going to school,
Correct.
and then the other ones that, it's like just...
I've been talking about this a lot lately, how we're Surf City, right? But there's not a lot of surf frothers that are in junior high school right now. Like everyone talks
in school, yeah, correct.
in school.
There is
Like we talk about how COVID has brought more participants, but most of them were adults, right? And most of them were, because when you think of more participants, you think of more opportunity, right? And more business.
Right.
But the people, the participants, they're not like frothing participants. They're more like casual participants where you see them on the weekends and when it's hot and sunny, but they're not going to the shops buying.
No, there's too many distractions with phone and other things. Like we're reading the magazines every week.
Yeah.
We're just diehards. Like it's not the same. There are fun, but
like these kids, they're so different from when we were. Like we had magazines, we had videos.
We're obsessed.
And it was like a lot of us, like that were. I'm from Long Beach, inland, and there wasn't a lot of us, but the ones that were surfers, they fucking like lived, breathed, and
Totally.
Like you carried yourself around. You wanted people to know you're a surfer.
Yeah.
Like you're like I'm dressing, I'm acting, I'm looking.
Yeah, people. There were a lot of we call those posers. Remember back in the
Yeah.
day, like guys that didn't even want to surf, didn't even surf,
But
were
wanted
dressing
to
like
look
surfers.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's like cool not to wear surf clothes. I don't understand what's going on right now. Maybe that's why the apparel industry's hurting.
Yeah.
People are not wearing logos anymore. I don't know, but it seems like these days a majority of the homeschool kids are ones that parents feel that they're going to go pro.
Yeah.
And then the ones that are in school are kind of weekend warriors and not that serious about it.
Yeah.
It's a lot's changed. I don't know why. Maybe the cost of surfing's gone up. I have no idea.
Everything. Like it's different.
it is different. But going back to, so you went to Ocean View,
Yeah.
but Verdon let you surf with his team.
That was amazing. Yeah, but my Will told me he was doing it. He was a year older than me, so I was like, I'm gonna try. So I asked my guidance counselor. Guidance counselor said, okay, get permission from Verdon. I came on the beach. Verdon was intimidating to me. He basically was testing me to see if I just wanted to have extra time in the morning to sleep in or actually surf. So he was, very like standoffish. But then when he saw that I was in it, I mean, I was hooked on surfing. It was so damn difficult. So damn difficult to get good at. I was like, I need to get good at this thing. So I went so much, he just gave me an A. He's like, I know you're coming. And I just showed up all the time.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Verdon's one of those like old school dudes that when you prove yourself or like say that you're going to do what you're going to do, what you say you're going to do, and you do it, he's like...
He's amped.
Yeah, he's amped and he's like, you're welcome. Like...
Totally.
And he treats all the kids the same, as far as if you're, he might bend the rules a little bit if you're like a star surfer, but not really, because I've seen him bench guys before. Dylan Sloan didn't show up for a contest until like 20 minutes late. And he's like, maybe next week you'll show up early and we'll put you in the heat. And he told him to freaking beat it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love that,
Yeah.
Because he's very
good.
diligent. He's a teacher, he wants you to be,
It's true.
Learn some...
Have some discipline.
Learn some principles.
Yeah. Like he made us like work on public speaking at all the functions. Like you need to
That's
go up
smart.
and you need to have like, you got to be able to talk to adults and, again, he was super intimidating, but you learn how to kind of navigate around
So
that.
what was your first contest?
I think it was like a WSA at Taco Bell Reef. It was an automatic final. And so I made the final. I think I got last. It was and then from then on, I did some more WSA. I think I got like third place in the West Coast Championships of the WSA. I had like Zach Keenan in my heat. And I think I was 16 at that time.
Zach Keenan from East Coast?
Zach Keenan is from San Diego. He rips.
Matt Keenan, I'm thinking.
Okay, yeah, Zach Keenan actually, he was like...
Zach had like the big beard, and then Matt, he was...
And Zach...
Matt's from the East Coast.
Yeah, Matt's from the East Coast, New Jersey. Zach's from San Diego,
Yeah.
and he rode for Rip Curl at the time, I remember. And I think he was like a surf guide for 4 years at Kandui Villas. But anyways, yeah, so that, and then I heard NSSA was where it's at, and that's where the competition got even more intense. And yeah, for me, I was in late. I told you I didn't get good until 17, 18. So by the time I was 17, I was doing all this stuff like full bore, and I had
high school.
I'm still in high school at 17, senior year. So I think I had heats with like Chris Ward, Dan Malloy, all these guys. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Who was your first sponsor?
Rip Curl. when I was 16.
And how did that come about?
I sent them my portfolio pictures from Fred Swagels, who always shot lowers, and my contest results. And it was, I think at that time it was like 40% off wholesale, and you get the sticker, and it was like the Rip Curl Search sticker, and you're like, oh my god, this is dope.
Yeah.
And then
Bunch of new videos.
and then it went O'Neill. I think it went O'Neill, and that's when it went. Even more stuff, doing the walkthroughs, and a little bit of money, not much. And then I think that my biggest sponsor was Rip Curl again when I was 21, 22.
We talk about how fucking stoked you get when you get that sticker on your board.
It's psychological.
That free,
for sure.
The free stuff, and you're just like, fuck yeah.
It's because I think, and I noticed it on a psychological sense, people feel like someone believes in you, so then you believe it in yourself more.
Yeah.
So there's a psychological factor. You'll watch surfers, professionals, even adults over 18. They get the sticker, they start surfing better, even if their pay is not as big as people might think, because they're not going to divulge what their pay is. And then when the sticker comes off, their surfing starts to regress on some of them. Some people can rise above it and ride without the logo and start winning, like Jordy Smith did it, and start winning 100 WQSs and then be like, look, I deserve the millions. And then others will psychologically decline because the logo's gone, their confidence is gone, or they're not in the limelight because the magazines might be promoting sponsors that advertise in the mags. Those kind of things happen. And so it's interesting seeing the psychological factor of a sticker.
Yeah. But it does, feels good,
Yeah, it's validation, I guess.
And what did your parents do for a living?
My dad was an architect. He was an architect even in Iran, and he's an architect here. And my mother was an accountant and secretary. She worked at I didn't even know she worked at Northrop Grumman and stuff in Iran. She spoke multiple languages. She could speak 3 languages and fluently, which is weird when you see, Caucasian Dutch woman. Mm-hmm. Anyways, my dad was an architect, came here.
So you're upper middle class.
Yes, for only a short time, which kind of sucks. That only lasted for about, in the United States, it lasted until 1991, savings and loan crisis. My dad lost everything and never bounced back financially or mentally, and that just destroyed him. Kind of like someone coming back from a Vietnam War and never being able to snap out of it. You know what I mean? They're still stuck in the war. It destroyed him. It caused obesity, depression. He lost all his properties. He was over leveraged. He didn't understand the American economy. He just thought what everyone is right now. Oh, it's just going to keep going up. It's just going to keep going up.
There's going to be no bumps in the road.
We're going through it right now. And the bumps in the road, when they're heavy recessions and they last 2 years, you can't hang on, because my dad's an architect and lost his job.
Yeah.
No one's designing houses. No one's remodeling houses. Who's going to hire him? Now he lost his job and he's got all these expensive mortgages of all these properties, and the property values are going down. Done. Foreclosed. Everything done.
Yeah, we talk about those jobs that are cyclical and economy driven, and it's
scary.
It's
Don't go too big with your investing, because when you get wiped out, those 2 years feel like a decade.
Were they super supportive of you surfing?
Yes, and no. They never said don't do it. But my dad is very old fashioned. Wanted me to be an architect because that's what I wanted to do when I saw my dad. I think I changed when I saw that he lost everything. And I'm like, wow, you mean these jobs aren't foolproof? Going to Cal Poly and getting a degree, that's what he had. Went to Cal Poly College. And I'm like, wow, you could lose everything and have an education, be smart in math, design. He was in charge of the 11-story building on 5 Points, the Pacifica Hospital. That was his project. It's right here. It's still up.
Yeah.
And other like Westminster Terrace retirement home. But yeah, so they wanted me to do a classic standard job, and I think my dad thought surfing is a beach bum steal.
Yeah.
I think all of our parents did it.
Especially like that.
That generation is old school. It's not like now.
And they're like in high profile jobs.
Yeah. Status,
an accountant,
stature.
a fucking architect.
Yeah.
Those are big.
Yeah, they
careers.
But surfing has opened up a lot of cool things that I would have never got, and my health probably would have gone downward if I picked up one of those type of jobs. I studied health because of surfing, so it ended up paying.
Yeah, we always say surfing's one hell of a drug because it just, good or bad. You know, there's two
It can
sides
take
to it.
you.
Yeah, surfing ruined my life bumper sticker. I
yeah.
remember seeing that and I was like, God, I could kind of relate.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
Anyways.
it makes people make a lot of bad decisions, but at the end,
Yeah.
it's like it's such a healthy, positive
is.
lifestyle.
So who were the guys that you were surfing with, and like who were you like battling in the contest?
Oh, in the contests? Well, in the amateur ones, like I never really. I only had that 1 year. I remember just having a good run. Like I did Ocean Beach, and I think I remember it was like 6 rounds, and I beat Chris Ward, and I didn't even know who Chris Ward was until I saw him surfing. Well, this guy is gnarly. I thought he was older than me. Didn't know he was a year younger than me. He surfed so mature. It's right before the Lost video, so I remember. I won a heat against him in well overhead surf, and then he ended up winning the whole contest in the open men's, and it said like Chris Ward wins all but 1 heat. I'm like, that was that 1 heat. But yeah, I made the semis, I think. I never had you got to be really like a contender to be a pro if you're going neck and neck battling like Rob Machado, Kelly Slater, amateur years. So for me, it wasn't. It would always be a different person. There was never like a consistent name that I was up against all the time. I think
Who were you hanging out with? Who were you surfing with?
That's a very good question. Many different people. Well, whoever had a car, and then once I got a car, to be honest with you, I started surfing by myself. I'm still doing that now. I started surfing by myself.
Never bring a crowd.
Yeah.
No. That's why some of the people let me surf their other spots because they know that I don't paddle out with 3 people.
Yeah.
I don't even need car seats other than mine. No, but yeah. So solo, self motivation.
Yeah.
Remember, I came from Ocean View, where a lot of guys burned out and just stopped, and I carried the stoke with me. So that's pretty much. I mean, I had maybe Dwayne Toole. I'm trying to think about it. Dwayne Toole was part of the crew. There were a couple guys. I had Ryan Seiko we'd go surfing with. I'm just trying to remember. You're asking me to go back to 1994. It's tough.
Yeah.
And then some older guys that like to go to lowers a lot. So that were maybe 10, 15 years older than me, but like went to lowers a lot because it was hard to find a group of people that want to go battle that crowd.
We talk about how, you what's the first surf spot did you
Surf spot?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
in Huntington?
I want to say it was the pier or Sunset Beach on PCH and Warner.
Okay.
Straight out from the bus.
Yeah.
I just remember taking the bus.
Like those are like embedded as like, hey, that's where I had my first waves or first sessions.
Yeah. Those are the 2 spots I remember learning first. But then when I realized that the pier was a difficult place to get good at because of the amount of good surfers, I moved towards Golden West and worked my way until I knew that I can be with those guys.
Yeah. Isn't it a trip like that hierarchy and that
They don't have it now. Yeah.
progression
Agreed.
of like, we all grew up with that. Like
I knew my place.
yeah, we all knew our
People
place.
don't know their place right now.
until like, okay, I'm at the skill level. I'm confident that I can make my way into this next step.
Because a lot of people now they have so much confidence and so little skill. It's dangerous for everybody involved.
Yeah,
That's not just
sometimes
here, that's everywhere.
they're just
Yeah, it's
naive as
everywhere.
fuck. They're just
naive. But I knew I wasn't good. Like
Even
how do you not? Some guys really don't know that they're not good.
Yeah. But even though you knew like the pier was crowded and a lot of good surfers and it was a hassle, it still like drew you to the spot.
Yeah.
You always wanted to go
it was
surf
an
with the best.
aspirational next step.
Yeah, it was the pinnacle, right?
Like
I mean,
you go
it's-
surf, down the beach.
The
and
waves
like,
are all
well, there's
better
nobody
there.
to like.
Yeah. No, there's no one to push you, and
Yeah.
plus the pier was all the action happening. I mean, you go the guys on BMX and skateboards underneath the pier by the Green Burrito. There was all kind of arcade going on. It's always
It was a scene. But
Yeah.
if you look at all the like where most high-profile professional surfers come, you get a couple one-offs here and there, but a lot come like Santa Cruz. They had just a ton of rivalry and push surfing. Huntington, a little bit in Ventura, Santa Barbara, but it's pretty sleepy. San Clemente is like the new hotbed because every spot, the pier, T Street, lower, wherever, and the amount of competition on every session every day is through the roof, and it just helps.
There's a lot of camaraderie in San
This helps.
Clemente.
Yeah.
That's why they're all getting good and all making the tour. Of course, money is behind it too, but the surf spots
But
they
they're
have,
pushing
the
each other.
camaraderie, it's huge.
Yeah.
And they get good waves.
Yeah, they work on their style at lowers and then work on their quick muscle reflexes
At
each
T
race.
Street.
Yeah.
What What did you ever get a job? What was your first job?
Oh yeah. So this is cool. It's pretty funny. So yeah, I think I was right when I was able to legally get a job. My buddy was a janitor at a school that I went to, and I'm like, dude, I want to do that. It was the highest hourly wage for like a 15, 16-year-old. It was $5.50 an hour when minimum wage was $3 an hour, because it's a government job. So I applied and I did it, and I worked 3 hours a day. So I would go surfing in the morning.
That was your first job?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd go surfing in the morning, and then I'd go to school. I'd get good grades too, because surfing motivated me to get good grades. I'd have no FOMO. I'd go surfing for 45 minutes after school, and then go to that job at 3 p.m., which was across the street from my house. It was at Mesa View. I was a janitor at Mesa View 3 years after I went to Mesa View. Do you know what the teachers were thinking? They're like, this guy, we sent him to the principal's office now, he has the keys to our room. So it was pretty hilarious seeing your teachers.
That is a trip.
And then Ryan Turner was going to that school, and he'd see me there, and I'm like, dude, I'm a janitor here. It's pretty funny.
So your friend like kind of vetted you, like, or you just applied and nobody.
Yeah, I applied. I mean, it was a pretty big deal. You got a fingerprint scan, the whole deal. You know, I mean, it was a government job. At age 16, they would never hire a 16-year-old now at the school districts. I think it's a lot more difficult, but that was my first job.
And it worked around your surf schedule.
It totally worked around my surf schedule.
All your life, you've been the focal point of your life is surfing.
You nailed it. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, there's a big sacrifice for surfing. And
have you ever had a girlfriend?
Yeah, but it didn't go very well. It's just surfing. Pretty much. Yeah, as passionate as I am about it, because I know that if you stop doing it, it's hard to get back to where you were.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Even just from an injury. And so I'm like, and the feeling that I get from it, you know, I've done the snowboarding, I've done the BMX, the skateboarding. I've made good money. I've had a nice car. None of it gave me what surfing did. And people, even women, they come and they go. Their emotions change, but the surfing's always there. It's never.
There's not too many sports that inspire you, like I said, to have good health in your outdoors. It's just it's the best non-workout ever, and you get to have fun. But the traveling that you get,
oh my gosh,
it like
priceless.
It's priceless. Yeah. Like all the different like cultures and
if you were a top level athlete in any sport,
you don't travel like you do.
What would you want?
Surfing. Dude, you're going to countries like Greenland Island where I saw Jay. I mean, you're going to countries that people didn't even know existed, and there's actually perfect waves there and a contest there. And I mean, at basketball, you're just going to different basketball courts. What does it matter if you're in Bangladesh? Yeah. You're at the basketball court. I mean, dude.
And a lot of those sports are done after high school or college if you're very, very lucky to even get to a college level. Yeah. But you could play, weekend pickups or this or that. But like surfing is like, you're going to do it for.
Oh yeah, you don't need a team to do it. A lot poor these guys, they retire as professionals, and they're like, wait a minute, I can't play football anymore with my friends because there are none. Yeah. The team it's me. I retired. So surfing, you can do it on your own. And luckily you don't fall on concrete. Luckily I didn't pick BMX because it would look funny me be on a BMX bike at this age, and also, I don't want the freaking pedal racking me in the nuts or the freaking, what do you call it?
Oh, they wipe out.
All that, yeah. I got racked in the nuts. The handlebars, all that. So
little handlebar whip back in the day was like the coolest trick. Now they're doing like triple backflips and landing on like their front wheel.
I see it on like Instagram Explorer page.
What was your first surf trip?
On a plane.
What
does it mean?
Family, friends, not Mexico.
Driving to Cabo San Lucas because I saw the Los Cabos Classic, and I was so stoked on it. I was like, oh my god, this is epic. I saw Fletcher.
Herbie Fletcher.
Yes. So I was like, I gotta go. So
was it planned around that, or did you?
I saw that first, and then I was like, okay, this is attainable. So I convinced one of my uncles to drive me and my cousin down. We drove to Cabo. Craziest thing ever. Potholes, flat tires, bent rims, broken axle. Cows, RVs hitting cows, like just cows.
Chaos.
Chaos. It was spending the night halfway down in Guerrero Negro, in the middle of nowhere, and it's 40 degrees, and you could be axed at midnight by anyone. And I just pitched a tent at an abandoned campground, and I went to Cabo. It was 1991 or 2 or something.
Did your cousin and uncle surf?
My cousin did. He was a level lower than me, but my uncle did not, and I can't believe he was a trooper. He didn't surf. He just liked the adventure. He just went. I think he was divorced. He went through the whole thing, and we camped.
Let's go.
We camped the food. We went down there. I had a tent on the beach at Zippers. which you can never do now. Camp on the beach at Zippers. So that was my first surf trip, and followed by the North Shore.
Wow.
Yeah.
North Shore is
How
like
are the waves in?
Wake up call.
How was that? How was that trip in Cabo?
We went in December, and there was south swell. I didn't know Surfline. I didn't know
You guys
nothing.
went in
I went in December on Christmas break.
Christmas
school.
break.
Well,
Yeah.
you're like, it's 40 degrees out, and I'm like, wait, what?
No, guys. It was 40 degrees at Guerrero Negro, which is the halfway point of the Baja Peninsula, which the days are 100 and the nights are 40. So like I caught a cold. I'm like, how did I go from 100 degrees in the day to 40 degrees? Because my uncle needed rest. He was driving. I didn't have, I'm not going to drive that.
Do you remember how long it took you?
Yeah, 27 hours. And I think we broke it apart. And I did one more drive with my friends, and we did it in 27 hours straight with no sleep. That was never do that again. But yeah, so there were waves.
So he watches the Los Cabos Classic.
Yeah.
And goes, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
And he does it. You don't realize because you're a kid.
I don't realize.
You're like,
directions.
oh, that was summertime.
I didn't-
It
Summer
takes a day to
swells.
drive there, a day straight.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't.
It's
even
Christmas.
understand-
We can
yeah.
only go on Christmas
bought a
or
book.
spring break, maybe.
I think I bought a book on how to get there at Wind and Sea, a book, and it had a map where all the gas stations were. Because if you skip a gas station,
Oh, you're done.
Fuck.
you are done. So this map at Wind and Sea was like a Baja surf guide, and literally you had to remember and I'm surprised it actually matched. 'Cause
Now that you bring it up, what shops did you go to? Or
well, obviously I bought my first board at Jack's. I went to HSS.
was there a
Wind
hangout
and
for
Sea.
you?
I never. When I was first surfing Warner and PCH, I actually hung out at HSS, Warner, PCH,
Okay.
and bothered Duke all the time.
Yeah.
I think Duke ended up becoming
So epic.
Duke Surf Shop and became Surfside Sports, but Duke was part of HSS over there in Sunset Beach, and so I hung out there all the time. I used to take the bus home from there, and so me and my buddy, I think Kevin at the time, we'd hang out there all the time waiting for the ride or the bus.
How funny.
I mean, that was such part of our upbringing. We talk about it all the time on like hanging out, looking up to the guys at the shop, seeing the mag, what's new, what's cool.
Yeah. Can I do something for something? Can
Getting
I
the
get-
Tide,
can I-
Totally.
the little Tide book, and
Yeah.
like everything was like
And
so important.
even the bathrooms with the
Posters, sign, like all the athletes.
yeah.
I was all about the autographs. So by age
the
11,
autographs on the door, and the funny things people would write. You'd be like, this is fucking awesome.
it totally reminded me of
Somebody-
getting autographs. I did
Yeah,
that all
somebody
the
have a
time.
little curly mustache on their barrel.
Yeah.
There'd be like all kinds of drawings.
So Cabo was your first surf trip.
And then the North Shore.
How many boards did you bring? Just one?
2.
To Cabo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're on the surf racks, and there's like all these dead bugs on them and shit. Yeah, because it's a long
summer.
drive.
Yeah.
We went in December. We got what's it called? The Rock. It broke, and we got zippers. And then we using that guidebook that I bought, we went to Pescadero, and that's where a lot of waves were. The water's freezing. That's on the
Freezing.
Pacific side,
Yeah.
and camped there and surfed there, and it was fun.
Did you find monuments?
There's monuments on that trip. I think monuments was on my second trip.
Okay.
Yeah, because I talked to people,
Yeah.
and then I realized I wasn't there the right season.
Which that wave sucks.
Yeah, it's just a dangerous wave.
I like that wave.
It's just challenging. It's cool.
Yeah,
The paddle
it's
out sucks.
novelty.
The
If
coming
there's
out,
nobody
novelty.
out, it's
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
a killer wave.
It's like
That
Rock House?
steep
I know.
and deep that you guys
Yeah,
had.
I
You
know.
guys
Yeah.
had it pretty good.
We
right?
did. We got
Yeah.
it pretty good, but it's like it's irregular. There's a couple boils, and it's not.
you have to know
like-
exactly when to turn. You have this
Yeah.
much space to do it, or else the wave just goes mush.
Yeah, it's
But I remember my first ever trip was with a girlfriend, and we rented a bug, and I could not fucking find the place, and then
Oh shit.
stumbled upon it. We're like, wait, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
driving around forever, and then boom.
Remember the bugs?
Yeah, there's no signs.
The bug just would get destroyed on the drive to shipwrecks. I remember doing that on a few trips
Oh, God,
afterwards.
yeah.
Destroyed.
Those were the rentals back then. It's
Yeah.
so crazy.
So, yeah, I remember that. Now it's I heard it's mostly paved.
So Hawaii, did you like?
Oh, that was
North
a
Shore?
wake up call. Yeah.
Did you like save money? Like I'm gonna buy. A
I saved. Oh, I worked. Remember, I worked. So
Yeah.
So I was able to save money. Things were cheaper back then. I stayed at Mark Fu's hostel, and
Stayed there?
Yeah, it was interesting. And
Is that
then,
the one that's in front of Rubber Duckies?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I stayed there too.
Yeah, and I remember seeing. Yeah, I remember my first session was sunset, and I didn't know I was at sunset. and it was gnarly.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know. I just saw a guy get barreled. It was kind of funny to say. I'm not even going to say it, but I thought I was somewhere else. I saw a guy get barreled. Oh, I must be here. I'm not going to say it, but then it ends up being Sunset. So that was big. And then I remember finally like being able to perform at Jocko's. It was big Jocko's, and I saw Mark Fu out there. I knew it was good if he's out there. And yeah.
But the North Shore is misleading too, because there's only a couple spots where you could actually see the surf, like Sunset and Jocko's from the beach, Lonnie's. But there's
And
a
if it's
really
not
good
right-
wave, like every other, like beach
Bike
access.
path. Yeah, and
you
if
know?
it's the wrong swell direction, maybe off the wall and pipe don't look right, because it was spring. It was spring when I went. It was in April during spring break, so there was a late season swell, but certain areas like Pipeline weren't really doing it.
Yeah.
But I got to surf there, but it was small. It was maybe a foot overhead.
Yeah, I've been a handful of times, and I remember the first times going over there going, what is this? This is where?
Yeah.
This is
Well, even
Rocky
Aki,
Point? This
even
is-
Aki thought he was at lowers. He was surfing uppers. So if Aki can get that mixed up,
Yeah.
shit happens.
Yeah,
Right.
and in the swell direction, it could be 10 foot over here and 2 feet, just like a couple hundred yards down the beach, just the way the swell hits the reefs, and vice versa, or everywhere could just be maxed out, and it's like,
So
Tricky.
you guys were there late spring break.
Yeah.
Who'd you go
spring
with?
break. I went with I think Andre's brother, Dave Cohn, at the time. He was
I remember
older.
him.
Yeah, this poor guy's whatever. He's not doing too well. But I went with him, and I was 17, and I think I bought a board off you, a different one. I bought another. I got the Magic Merrick from you, and I bought another Merrick from you, and I went there.
For that trip?
Yeah, for that trip.
So when
And I
you,
had guns too. But.
you start off on your Rock and Fig.
Okay,
And then where did you go, like board wise? Because there's so many.
You're
good
right.
shapers and
No.
boards.
Okay, so Ryan Ed Seiko was the 1st
You're
custom
on.
surfboard. Someone told me to get a bullet, and I was like, okay. And it was a good deal, and I went and got a custom bullet, and got it airbrushed. It was so
But it
cool.
was on Warner? Or
I don't know where.
Heil?
I don't know where has Seiko always been on Main Street?
A
No.
really long time.
Okay, but I
It
don't
used to
remember.
be on
This is
Wilson
1980. 89 or 88, I got my first custom. So I don't know where he was then, but I got one. I have a picture of it. And
It
my
could have
dad,
been Sunset too.
yeah, my dad ran it over, dude. Because it was my fault. I put it on the grass, and he can't see backing out on his way to work, and a tire track went over it. But I had Forrest Lewis, which was Randy Lewis's dad at the time, fix it. And he was like the perfect ding repair guy. Yeah, so I
What a
always took my ding
trip.
repairs there, yeah.
So your first custom was a bullet?
Yes.
That's funny.
And then
Epic.
Wave Tools. Then I rode for Wave Tools. Yeah, I
How'd
rode for
that?
Wave-
How'd that?
That was like for
happen?
2 years. Mark Sweeney, I was introduced to Mark Sweeney, who was shaping for Wave Tools. He shaped me a couple boards, and then I think he owns the computer right now that everybody gets cut. Mark Sweeney owns the computer. Is it called Pure Glass? Yes, he owns the computer that cuts everyone's board at Pure Glass. And then I met Lance Collins, and I started getting boards from Lance Collins. And that was for a couple of years. I broke so many of them. He made them so light.
And you had Cordell's too, but
I
later?
Cordell's later on. I
Yeah.
think I was like 24. This is when I was like 17.
Yeah.
When after I bought your used one, I went into So the Seiko Bullet was age 12, and then the Wave Tools was age 16, and then I think I got one Pesh. I think I got it used, and then then I remember at 18, I believe I rode for Spider.
Spider?
That's
Yeah,
right.
when they were
I do.
huge.
I remember you had those too.
They were huge. Spider was huge. That's when I started.
Spider built.
Yes, Spider surfboards.
Yeah.
Dennis Jarvis. He was big. He was sponsoring all these main guys, and Tom Kern. Did a maneuver on it in the search video, and so Greg Browning got me on the team. He's such a gentleman.
Dude.
I remember I sent him my sponsor me video on VHS tape, and he was so psyched. He's like, "You have so much amp, this and that. We're psyched." So he sponsored me. The board prices were really good, and I knew he had like a solid team, so I was super psyched to be part of it. So
He had a huge team.
Yeah.
Ross, Benji, Greg, Conan,
yeah.
Tom Curran,
it was big.
Frankie Oberholzer.
Yeah, it was gnarly.
Tom Resman.
No,
Tom
no,
Rezvan.
I was on the B team. Okay, let's get this straight.
REZZY?
These guys are on like momentum videos. That was cool.
Well, so you had great relationships and great shapers. And
Yeah.
Didn't you ride for Chaz too?
Yes, that comes later. At 19, I rode for Chaz. Those boards were insane. And I was super psyched on that. And they went really, really good from 19 to 20. And then I went to Burn surfboards. From 20, I rode to 21 Burn, and I love Burn. Mike Barron was shaping me boards. They had workouts, and I'd drive to Oceanside, met Jeff Booth, everything. I remember I rode right when I got on Rip Curl. Rip Curl wanted to have their logo on the nose and not Burn. And Burn had a contract that stated they cannot lower their logo from the nose. And I was trying to figure it out. I like this board. Obviously, I want to get sponsored by Rip Curl.
That's crazy.
So I had to leave Burn because Burn's contract was so strict that they had to have the Burn logo on the nose. It couldn't be put in the center. I even mimicked and drew one on the center that we can't. So the Search logo had to go on the nose. And I rode for Hamish Graham.
Yeah,
and I was riding for Rip Curl.
Even Jeff Booth, yeah, he had his Quicksilver logo, like just.
He had to move the logo down and let Burn be on the nose. You're right.
Yeah.
So I did have a Jack's co-op ad with Burn in I don't know, surfer or surfing.
Yeah, what was your first photo in the mag?
Oh, good. As a Jack's ad. Oh no,
Jack's ad.
actually going back, it was a Newport Surf and Sport. I totally spaced. We're going through time traveling here.
It's all good.
So age 17, I wrote for Newport Surf and Sport, and I got a Newport Surf and Sport ad in Happy Magazine.
How sick.
Yeah.
You still have it?
Yeah, I have it. It was a little credit card 180 Air.
Take
I
it.
gotta get it out of my freaking storage unit. Everything's in storage unit. I just did all the moving.
Yeah.
Shit.
So wait, Newport Surf and
I
Sport,
wrote for them, yeah.
and that was what, by Crab Cooker or?
That was by Crab Cooker,
Yeah.
yeah. Ron Gould was the team manager, and I don't think I could get on the HSS team. So Newport took me in, and then I rode for a brief year for HSS when I was 18. I remember when I was a Spider at that time, and and then oh shit, all this is hard to remember. And then 19 was O'Neill.
Remember how important like it was to have a surf shop sponsor open the gates for every other
Yeah.
sponsor or relationships,
It did.
you
Yeah.
know?
It
It's
did.
it was
Well, they
really
wanted to collaborate with the shop,
Yeah.
you know, so
Hey, it's
you
push
have the
product.
local ripper
Yeah,
at the local shop riding your boards or your wetsuits or whatever.
Yeah.
you're 100% right. Yeah, and Andy Verdone tells me that if I would have went to Huntington High School, I would have had a better chance at like a pro surfing career because that's where all the scouts go. Similar to like if I would have done the right channels, I had no guidance. I'm not going to get parental guidance. They're old school. They want me to wear a suit and tie.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had no guidance. I had no idea, no roadmap.
You know, it's crazy how that sounds, but it's totally true.
Very important, even in
Yeah.
acting now. I need
Even-
guidance, dude.
like-
I can't just freaking.
Like colleges, why do certain colleges
Yep.
end up in certain careers?
Correct.
You know, like
Go to
that's-
Yale, you're gonna get hired. Everyone will be
Yeah.
skull and bones.
It's,
That paper-
it's
yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
That paper,
Let's not go down that route. But
that,
you know what I'm
that
saying? It's a
paper is
fraternity.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah, the degree is important, but in surf too. Like if you would have went to San Clemente or Huntington
Totally.
High at the time,
That's where everyone's focused. No guy's gonna want to get someone from. Although Jason Lee, the pro skater and actor, went to Ocean View.
yeah.
That was probably.
He
one of
But
the-
that's skateboarding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Surfing needed to be closer to the coast, and Ocean View is about 4 miles inland from the coast. So whatever. I actually think my year was the last year that Ocean View had a surf team. That's how hardly any
Do they not
surfers
have
came.
a surf
They
team anymore?
stopped a surf team in 1993,
What a trip!
94. Yeah, last year was my year. Nobody else was left. You were talking about generations
Yeah.
that don't surf, that go to schools, public schools. Well, that was it for Ocean View.
Yeah.
If you surf, you're going to Huntington or Edison or whatever.
Because even Fountain Valley still has a surf team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
I know,
you know what?
that's-
I gotta. Do you
far
follow
away.
them on Instagram?
No.
Because I follow Edison,
Yep.
and I follow Huntington Beach High School, and I follow
Marina.
Long Beach Wilson.
Mm.
And does Marina have one?
Yeah, Marina has a surf team.
Okay, I gotta start following them too. But it's cool that at least some high schools are very surf focused still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pacifica, which is a private Christian school up in Costa Mesa, they have
have
a surf team. Newport
Yeah.
Harbor still, and like I'm just reflecting our
Yeah.
Yeah.
high school schedule that I remember.
You gotta tell your Huntington Beach High School surf team to step it up.
on posting.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
It's going
one
dormant.
of our girls.
yeah.
I think she.
They need to step it up because Edison's pretty good at it, and Long Beach Wilson, I'm really stoked on what they do.
Westminster had a surf team.
They did.
Do they not anymore?
If Ocean View doesn't, sure as hell Westminster.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
too.
Remember when we had? Do you know who Ben Soto is?
No,
Uh,
maybe my face. I don't know.
he was the designer at Paul Frank, and he's Brad Blankenship's brother-in-law.
Yeah.
He sent us all those not just Huntington Beach High School, but all the high schools at the time. I'll have to repost
I
that.
know. It was like I said, it was big.
It
Like
was huge.
everybody wanted to surf.
Yeah.
And to have like surf class was such a novelty, but yet like everybody's like, wait, I don't have to go to school till like 9
So
something.
epic. On Fridays I'd go to Lowers.
Yeah.
Andy said you don't. It's auditorium on Fridays.
Yeah.
You go. I'd go to Newport Point and Lowers.
So
I wasn't using it to sleep in. I was using it to go
let's
far.
let's talk lowers.
Oh God, that was the wave. Yeah.
You and there's certain people that almost everybody in California and people on Surfline and people people get known all over the world because of Surfline and Instagram, but you and like Cordell are fucking surf dogs at Lowers.
Well, I met Cordell at Lowers. Such a nice guy. We became good friends, and yeah. So Lowers. Well, obviously,
When did you start going down there?
I remember it was 1990. I saw.
I remember
Well,
1990.
Well, I'll tell you why it's so easy. Because I saw Kelly Slater in the PSAA, and he won it. I'm like,
Oh,
what?
that one.
I'm like, that was 1990. I'm like, what the hell kind of wave is this? It was on Prime Ticket, and I'm like, are you kidding me? There's a wave that good? So I couldn't drive at the time, so I'd pay gas money, and I'd get heckled. People would take more money than they needed for gas, whatever. And I'd go down there, and I remember getting hooked. And I remember going there with Andre's older friend, Chris Gregrich, who passed away like 20 years ago. But he was a good surfer from Edison. And so I went down there with him, and I remember counting the days, how many times I've been there 4 times already. And I just kept going back. I think I have a photo of me at Uppers, but anyways, I kept going down, and then it was a pain in the ass waiting until I was 16. So when I got 16, I'm like, it's on. I just drove non-stop to Lowers. Then, I don't know who it was, someone told me a trick. This is the best trick ever. And he said, you could get...
Before you go into
Yeah,
it,
go
what
ahead.
kind of car did you get?
It was my mom's old Mazda 626. And by the way, going back, Zoroastrianism, the name Mazda is the name of their god. So the name Mazda is not a Japanese name on a Japanese car. It actually refers to Persian. So it's Ahura Mazda. And I think in Star Trek, they called the girl Ahura because the god Ahura Mazda.
Yeah.
It was back to the Mazda. So I drove that thing. Yeah, I always think Mazda was a Japanese name, but it's not.
It's a Japanese company, right?
Yeah, but it's a Persian name.
Okay.
Okay, so
I like that.
Okay, so I was jumping around. So I took the Mazda down there. I didn't even understand about checking oil. I think the car blew up. Like I drove it in 2 years. I feel so bad. I drove that thing down to the dirt to where I remember turning the car off and it was still clunky.
Smoking.
Yeah, it was clunky. Go clunk, 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 and then shut down. I was like, I didn't realize the cars need oil change.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm an idiot. But yeah, I went to
Cars
Lowe's.
were different back then. They had to,
Carburetors. They had carburetors, timing belts. Not these new cars don't have any of that shit.
There was a shop class though, right?
Yeah, I didn't take
Back
that
then.
one. I think I took
Yeah.
wood shop and graphic arts. But yeah, so I went to Lowers so much, and I was so hooked on the wave, and it was a long wave. I trade videoing with my friends, and I'd take them with me, and then I was charging them gas money and splitting it apart. Then I learned a neat trick to get on the military base and not have to walk the long road. That upped my speaking skills. So I was
Your
able.
speaking skills?
Yeah, you're talking to a military.
Sergeant Rezvan?
Yeah, you're talking to a military police officer with a machine gun on his side, and you're 17. The way I knew what to say got me on base. And so I was getting on base over and over and over and over and walking the short trail. Even Justin Madison, I'm like, hey, you want to ride? He's like, yeah, man. I'm on base. He's like, how the hell do you get on this? I took a couple guys like that way, even Matt Archibald, they'd be like, what the hell is going on? Like, who? And it might be the only lone car there. And this was in 1993. So people that are doing it now, it's not cool anymore. We got e-bikes. Anyway, so yeah, I was doing that for decades, and I had a 99% success ratio.
Who introduced you to that?
That's what I'm trying. Oh, I think I remember a guy named Mark. Anyways, yeah, a guy named Mark.
So DMJs, which is Del Mar jetties,
Yes,
Oceanside, used to just show your ID and proof of insurance, and they'd let you go park, but lowers, there wasn't really like parking. It was more of like protected for the colonels and like lieutenants, like for the campsite.
dirt.
You couldn't even get like campsites down there or get access unless you were
So
high affluent. So I know this for a fact because we tried.
No,
No, you don't have to give your
no,
secrets,
no, it's not a secret. Anyways, yeah.
But there, it was
I knew,
accessible at some spots. But
I knew
was
how to
limited.
talk without asking questions. You ask a question, you get denied. You speak of what you're going to do. He knows his deal, and and so I literally parked on the dirt by the guard shack. So you see the guard shack where you check in? I parked on the dirt lot. We're the only car there were the MP's cars for being at the guard shack. So I didn't go down all the way to churches, any of that crap. I literally was a short walk. So I did this throughout until I ended up getting an e-bike.
Crazy.
I used to take the bus. I used to ride my bike down to
That's
the pier, lock
That's
it up at
gangster.
5, and catch the first bus. I would come through at 5:45 and sit. I'd sit with my board in front of me with my Walkman. AB had Metallica on one side, like Guns N' Roses on the other, or whatever, and my backpack and lunch. And then I knew if I got down there, I didn't know at first, but there was only like one time I had to take out of like many trips. I only had to take the bus home once. Every other, I could have got a ride, but they want to leave early. I want to surf till like later. I'd always find somebody that's come back to Newport or Huntington. And there are a lot of guys from like Newport, and they're like, "Look, I guess I'll just take you home, like out of their way, you know?" And I'm like, "Dude, you're the best. Like, you could just drop me off."
I did the hitchhiking, and it was scary.
Yeah, like because you could get in the back of trucks with no seatbelt laws or whatever.
Yeah, back then you could.
I'll
That's
just
right.
lay in the back by the boards. I
I
don't
did
even
that
care.
on the way to Lowers.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so sketchy. I was scared to death, dude, because my friends aren't very good drivers at age 16, 17. But
Yeah.
you brought up a really good point. I remember when I get denied that 1%, I'm all, fine, I'm just going to hitchhike. And so I'd hitchhike. And this one time, and this was around 2018, the 1% chance that I got denied. This is kind of scary. So I see this guy in a Prius. Usually I get people that have surfboards in their car because common interest. I get this guy in this Prius, and I was desperate because the sun was going down, and he had like a blue members only jacket and prescription glasses. But
he had a board.
No board.
Sketchy.
Oh, no
And I was
board.
desperate. The sun was going down, and he was leaving. He was leaving San Onofre and coming down Barcelona to get on the freeway to head south on the 5 or north. Excuse me, where I needed to go to the next off ramp. So I stopped him. He pulled over. I go, "Hey, I need a ride to the next off ramp." He's like, "Yeah, no worries." I remember getting in the car, shaking his hand, and it was all sweaty and weird. And then,
You're like,
this is interesting,
shit.
dude. And then so I'm sitting there, I'm like, this guy looks like Jeffrey Dahmer. He looked just like Jeffrey Dahmer, dude. So I was sitting there, I was like, he's all, "Hey, I'm new to this town." I'm all, "Oh, cool." He's also,
I'm new to this.
yeah, I'm
Show
like,
me
"Oh
around.
yeah, it got worse." And he goes, "So if you want a blowjob, I can give you one." I go,
Oh,
At this point, I'm in the car's driving, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is it. You gotta be calm, because if you show aggression, he's gonna get aggressive. If you get nuts and come
big?
weapons, dude. Like anything could happen.
Was he
No,
big?
he's
Like,
like
you have
my
a
size.
board
I
between
could
you?
probably kick his ass, but remember, this guy's crazy. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People are
Gotta play
emotionally
cool.
unstable. I had to play cool. I go, "No, it's cool." And I
So
remember
wait.
you get in the car.
I get in the car. The car's now moving. It's now entering the freeway at a speed I can't jump out of the car. Okay.
And he looks over to you and says, "I'm
Yes.
new to this town."
He's got good timing.
Yes. So the sun was going down. I was desperate. So I didn't know who this guy was. So I remember the car's now driving. He changes lanes to go into like a faster lane. I'm like, no, you need to be on the further right lane because I'm exiting now.
Yeah.
I'm exiting within 30 seconds. I'm trying to meet people. I'm all, maybe you should go out. I just calm. You got to be calm because if you go aggressive, he gets aggressive. They match your energy, right? So it's full psychological. So I was like, no. I go, maybe you need to go online. Maybe you meet people online. I'm all right though. You know, you meet people online, you'll be all right. And then so I remember he pulled off. Well, thank God he got. Dude, I just got out of the car and I left. I go, never again.
Yeah.
Never. What?
Here, this kid's never getting in a stranger's car unless they have supports.
Yeah, never get in someone's car. Yeah, my rule was never get in someone's stranger's car. Definitely if you don't see surfboards and stuff, but there's crazy surfers.
Did you hear it in slow motion?
Everything was going in slow motion. I was
Everything just slowed down. Whoa,
I was
you
using-
want to be Run, Forrest,
it's funny.
run!
Hey, why can't it be the chicks that say that pick you up? why is it always the aggressive dudes like that in the movies or like why
You're
is
gonna have to excuse my friend. There's a couple of dudes back 2 miles that way.
I was really like I remember just being calm, going stay calm because. Let's just say I went, what, you motherfucker? He would have swerved into the fast lane.
Yeah.
He would have gone to the fast lane, gone 90 miles an hour. What am I going to do?
Or he could have just whipped out a gun and said, "Hey."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All that.
You're going to be my friend.
I didn't want to escalate anything, so I de-escalated it and I was out.
Yeah,
that's so heavy.
You went into survival.
Now imagine if I was a chick that hitchhiked. Imagine if I was a blonde that hitchhiked. Dude,
Anyways, we know how that ends.
Thank God for e-bikes, guys, because I do no longer need to do any of those shenanigans anymore.
Yeah.
No more military base, no more hitchhiking.
Yeah, so you were tripping right when you shook his hand, though.
Yeah, it was like gross, sweaty, and his hand was like this. It was like, I'm like, dude, your finger's not like, what is that?
Yeah.
It's like a claw. Anyways.
You're like almost like right when you touch it, you're like, oh shit,
There's
danger.
something weird.
The other thing I was thinking is like, where are you coming from?
Yeah.
Because you're coming from the area where trails is, and you don't surf. You don't even look like you understand.
He was at Trail 6.
He doesn't understand what the beach is, dude.
He was at Trail 6.
What is Trail 6?
The nudie trail.
For sure.
The guy wanted trail mix, dude. That's what he wanted. Not gonna happen.
REZZY.
Hey, I was looking to get into surfing, bro.
Dude,
Give lessons.
Can you teach me how to surf?
No.
Can I get your number, bro?
No, but you know,
we
we talk about how you grew up in this little bubble, which is Huntington, and then you start introducing new surf spots, whether it's like Newport or Seal or Lowers, and you're just your froth level goes up so freaking high, like.
It's a surf trip.
Even Oceanside, which is really comparable to Huntington as far as like
wave,
when they had the river
sandbar.
Remember the sandbar blew out in South Jetty was like all time.
It was insane.
It's a combo with the
North
jetty.
Jetty
Like
was so fucking fun.
The contest
like, remember when the Stubbies contest? Like Gary Clisby and fucking.
Yeah, but that was way. I think that might be before.
That was way before.
Yeah, so
that would be what you watch on TV.
Yeah.
But it's not like this spectacular. Like you're leaving Huntington to go surf like another average beach break.
Hey, but you're leaving Huntington to
when I went to
surf
Rincon,
Ocean Huntington.
No, when I went to Rincon, that was amazing. I was 16.
But even those type of places are like it's still like epic. Rincon, like the
your
really
world is different back then. Mental Islands ruined everything for me because everything's like compared to it, whatever. But
like even Salt Creek on the turf, I'm like, what? You could see the bottom. You know, it's blue, green. It was
more speed on a 2-foot face wave than Huntington.
Yeah.
Every time you go to some other spot, it's like when you're younger.
Yeah.
And you haven't gone to the Mentawais or you haven't gone to even Hawaii, but like you go to these places just down the coast, it's a whole different world.
Well, when you're a kid, you played tag in your block, and when you left the block, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
You feel like you just escaped freaking the firmament.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I am somewhere else. Like it's so it's.
But the quality, like you surf the same wave, you don't really progress as much as if you go to different spots.
And that is why.
So NSSA and traveling and going to all these spots, and whether it's a Pleasure Point and it's like reef and kelp, or going up there or Ventura Harbor, all these different
reef
spots
works totally different.
Dude,
it works loose as hell.
Seaside, like all of these different like experiences at a young age, and you're like, wow, there's so many like that wave's tricky, and like then you were like, I want to go back there and figure it out, and I'm gonna have a contest here, but the wave from Huntington to Newport to like Salts Creek,
big gap.
It's like a whole different way of approaching, like how to surf that wave.
Yeah.
100%. You can see guys that surf Huntington too much struggle in Newport because it's a short, quick, to your feet, steep wave, and you need to make it happen in a couple seconds or else you get launched. And that goes back to kids becoming pro surfers. Other waves get you good at surfing, so if you don't have the budget to fly around the world and learn how to go to the North Shore or go surf somewhere in the Mentawai Islands, then it's going to be hard for you to be a pro now. Now I think it's more difficult to be a pro surfer than ever before because people are getting the access and resources to go to these wave pools, private settings, pools. 20 grand. They're doing it 3 times a year, maybe a little bit of a pit stop at Nicaragua, get barreled, but the real trip's going to be me going to the Mentawai Islands, staying at Candua Resort or Villas for a month, and then followed by a boat trip. This is, and I kid you not,
that's
there's
the
kids.
Formula of the
that's
pros.
a formula. And how can a middle class person can ever keep up with that, especially with this when the sponsorship money isn't there like it used to be in the 90s or early 2000s. It's gone. So I believe that the family is putting about 80%, if not more, of the money into the child's professional career than the actual sponsor sticker that you might see on the board. And then maybe down the line when they're 18, the company will be like, good job, mom and dad. Great $1 million investment on your child. We'll take it from here.
And you get sponsored for 2 years and then you're done.
It's not going to happen. Yeah, exactly. No.
Yeah.
But it's pretty funny. Yeah. But with the mid-year cut, yeah, it could happen like that. But yeah, so I think becoming a pro surfer now is probably more difficult than becoming an actor.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
You have a better shot at becoming an actor than a pro surfer right now because you got the mid-year cut, you got the sponsors putting in money, your parents need to be a boatload of rich.
And I have no problem with parents that have those means and they're able to share those experiences and travel with their kids and do it. And if the kid's driven, hey, cool.
Keeps them out of drugs and riffraff.
I talked to a handful of coaches, I'm not going to name any of them, and they have to have tough conversations with these parents about where their child, boy or girl, at, and where that your son or daughter is not going to be on tour.
Yeah.
There's no way,
At
and
that stage.
then that relationship falls because they're hearing the God, truth of like what is, and it sucks because, they want to live vicariously through their kids. Like,
They do.
They didn't get it. The kids, you could have all those resources and still not turn out to be a top 0.1%. But
Meanwhile, there's probably a middle class person that
could
the
easily
kid could
be there.
easily get that, but doesn't have the family
Yeah.
funding, and then as this gets sidelined because they have this. It's like a scientist have a great invention, but nobody wants to fund it, so it never gets off the ground floor. Just done.
Yeah, it's. I mean, even like if you're in organized sports, there's certain high schools that you could go to private that will guarantee get you into somewhere really good for college.
Yeah.
But who has those funds? Doesn't mean if you come from a non-important or a non-D1 school in high school that you're not, because they still look across the board. But it's just I don't blame the parents for doing it as long as they have a realistic outtake and they're enjoying the ride too.
Yeah.
It does keep them out of trouble.
Amen.
It keeps you out of trouble, but then you also
Yeah.
have to prepare them for the next stage in their
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
livelihood.
it gets
or-
depressing. So I've seen a lot of professional surfers after their careers hit depression. 'Cause
Every
then-
sport.
Yeah, because imagine you're traveling around the world, you're going to exotic countries, you can't even.
No
pronounce
way.
them.
There's Jay Larson. What happened to him?
No. What? No, what I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
No, we
it
know.
gets
I'm
totally.
just kidding.
It's seen that there's a depression involved.
We know that tragic story.
And it's gnarly. I can't imagine like going from never having a job to all of a sudden needing a regular job, which occupies your surf time schedule.
Yeah.
Abruptly.
Yeah.
Not even like slowly. It's abruptly.
Thank God I had a paper route. I worked at McDonald's and HSS.
Yes,
I
I saw you at HSS.
Well grounded before
You
I
already
started.
knew what it was like to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
You killed it. I
I
remember.
was stoked to work with my friends. I was like, those
This
were the
guy
best years ever.
so gnarly.
Working at Service Sport was epic.
I gotta pump you up because
See what that
because I gotta pump you up because when I was
Wait,
17.
stop. Make sure Linda's paying attention.
No, when I was 17, like you always wanted to see good surfers from your town, and he was definitely one of them. And it was like at that time when you wrote for Quicksilver, it was like watching. It was to me, it was like, oh, dude, it's like watching a duplicate of Slater in a way.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
And
We're
I
gonna
know
have
you
to
heard it
cut that
1,000
part
times.
out.
We heard it 1,000 times probably, but that's what it was like, and it
Oh,
was really
dude.
cool to see that level of surfing live, and
And he was cool.
it was way cool.
Well,
Never ever an issue.
I always.
It's only later in life that he got to be this.
I don't see that because you're working with them.
No, I
Trust
mean,
me.
he's only like 2.5 years older than me, but he came on the gates like so early and hot, and he spent almost every summer here when we
Kelly?
were super kids. Yeah, and I always say this: that most people identify with surfers that obviously you're goofy, you're gonna feel goofy, regular. And then maybe it's stature and stuff.
Mine was like Luke Egan. I like Luke Egan.
Yeah, and you got the knock knee, and you got the front side blow tail. Like, yeah, you're gonna kind of mimic like people that one, they rip, but two, you got to identify more. And I think like I looked at Slater, I'm like, oh, we kind of surf the same. He was like, who didn't want to surf like him?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not the only
And he
surfer
wanted to
that
surf like
fly.
Curran, and he wanted to surf like Curran. So if it wasn't for Curran there would be no modern cool
But-
style in surfing.
Yeah.
But it was like I grew up watching Archie and Potter and Curran.
for sure.
And
I wanna be a
Sonny,
hybrid
and
of everybody.
Like that was kind of that you take little bits and pieces
This
from
turn, that
everybody.
maneuver, that power, that aggression, that smoothness, that
Like,
finesse.
dude, when Wave Warriors, and I mean, I was a little scrawny, nothing. I mean, I was tiny, and they called me Junior Power because all I wanted to do is go up to the lip and do a Johnny Boy turn on or Sonny. I just wanted to go
spray.
I just wanted to go
Spray.
murder the lip.
Yeah. Spray was a huge thing. Trying to get spray on your turns. That was like,
because there was only still photos, really, and you're
Yeah.
like, man, I pulled that.
oh, I know. You're right.
And then when video came out, you're like, oh shit, I gotta worry about my style. Like,
Not even Instagram. Instagram's like going away from photos of surfing now. Now it's all video. It's all
yeah.
video. It's like we need to see you connect the dots. We need to see you surfing.
no, but
And,
like
Skateboarding is funny that they don't post anything, or they never printed anything that wasn't a make.
That's interesting.
You know?
Surfing had so
Did you
many
know that?
flyaway. No, surfing has 100 flyaway
Yeah.
covers in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like flyaway
It
air.
was-
I'm like, that guy's doing an air kick out.
he's not. Yeah,
It was cool
so
that-
bad.
But it had the logo.
And it had
big
the
logo.
color.
Yeah. Yeah, but
I had a cover shot that got passed up.
For flyaway air.
It wasn't a flyaway. I didn't pull it though, but it.
No, the other guy.
The magazine. They're so far ahead, like 3 months
Yeah,
or
they
4
are
months.
3 months. Yeah.
Like the issue 2 before was like a front side air. So they're like, hey, we try to mix it up. We don't want every magazine on the rack to look the same. Like that. If that would have been 2 months ago, we would have been,
Yeah.
And you hear
Transworld
that,
did a lot
but,
of airs. I was like, wow.
But that's the thought process. Okay, we got a barrel. Okay, we got a turn.
Yeah.
We got a air. Like they're
they
very
gotta keep
methodical.
it different.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
But
So
but
tell
there
us
have
about
a couple flyaways.
tell us about
As long as it looks controlled.
because you made Mentawise your like
Dude, that was a dream.
mission, right?
Yes. Okay, so how I got interested in that is obviously seeing the search videos and finding out they're in the Mental Islands. It's been a goal of mine, and I also rode for Rip Curl, and I just
Part of the search.
yeah, it was just a dream to be able to go. And I remember my very first time. Dustin Humphries was putting together a trip, and
Andy Humps.
I joined in, and it was the year 2000. So I went in with I think Brady Shemke went. Jesse Hines from North Carolina went. Ben Will went, if you remember him from Huntington.
Yeah.
Love Ben.
Who else? Jeff Barnett. He's now a huge stunt coordinator in Hollywood. He's from Newport. He went, and I'm trying to remember. There might have been one other person, but yeah, we went on a boat trip, and it ended up being one of the best. Because I've done like a lot of boat trips now, 18, but I'll explain how. But that was like in the top 4 out of the 18. It was my first trip, and it was the best waves I've ever seen in my life.
Who booked? Sorry, who booked the boat? How did you guys organize it? Through
Dustin Humphrey.
Through the ads or
Dustin Humphrey took care of everything. Said this, that. We had to pay partly for him, and I remember
I
it
got
took
6 spots. Right.
It took me
Or
3.5 months to pay that trip off, but yeah, it was worth every penny. And I got to see waves I'd never seen in my life. I got to surf waves, take my surfing to the next level. Like, it was interesting because
How old were you?
24. So what's weird is like that is like old now. The now aspiring pros, semi-pros, or pros, whatever, have already been there. Most of them. But yeah, so I was
But in 2000,
year 2000
it was
hardly.
still,
Oh, dude, it was.
I wouldn't say virgin, but
I could give a T-shirt and walk away with a handmade boat made out of wood.
Yeah.
Catamaran for a T-shirt. That's the difference between now. It's like $50, $60 for that same boat.
Yeah.
We're very Western.
Good for them, but yeah, it was like really raw back in the
very
day.
untapped. And then I remember we went on a sailboat and I was throwing up the whole time. The seas were wild. They said it was one of the roughest seas. The guy's yelling in his French family. And what's cool is the son was 14. He lived on the boat. He was raised on the boat. His name was Techie, and now Techie is part owner of HT's Resort right now and lives there. And he rips, and he's probably 40 years old now.
Awesome.
And so anyways, yeah, we went on a trip, surfed the best waves of my life, surfed 8 hours a day, every day, got rashed up, everything. And unfortunately, Dustin Humphrey had drank too many sodas and had a kidney issue, so he couldn't even shoot much on the trip. So we didn't hardly get any photos because he got sick on the trip. He was dehydrated, kidney problem, which he discovered after why he was sick and sensitive to the light and whatever. But from that moment forward, I knew I wanted to go. So that trip was expensive, so I didn't go in 2001 because I think 9/11 happened. People were all scared of Indo. So, but in 2002, people were still scared of Indo, 9/11 stuff. My friend Anthony Marcotti, I became friends with, and he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna start a boat trip."
And then he started.
Yeah, I'm gonna start a boat trip. It's gonna be called Serina Co-op Mentawai, and I'm like, "Cool, can I be your first customer?" Yeah, so I invited Todd Amer. Todd became his first customer, and we went, and we were on a brand new boat, never even been to the Mentawais.
Todd who?
Todd
Claimer.
Kondo? Todd the Complainer Amer. Todd Claimer.
Todd Claimer?
Yeah.
We love you, Todd.
Yeah, Todd, dude.
We love you, bro. We gotta get you on too.
Jiu-jitsu, black belt. But yeah,
He's
so
on.
yeah, he'd be interesting. So we went, and then on that trip was a guy named Ray and another guy named Billy. But what I didn't know is that Ray, being a guest just like me, would soon become an investor in Kandui Resort and end up living there the rest of his life and being one of the.
Did he have money, or
I think he sold his house. This is all I know. Remember,
But he saw
sold
the
his
vision.
house in Long Beach, and he had an air conditioning business, I believe. And then he just moved over there in 2004, which is 2 years after that trip, became one of the 10 investors, and he's still one of the original investors till this day. And he
Good for him.
raised his son there, Dylan. All Day Dylan is his Instagram, and he rips Indonesia, and he's like, I don't know, 16. He rips Rise for Lost, but so through Anthony, I found my in, and I became his customer. And then before I know it, I became kind of a travel agent, if you will, filling up boat trips, and he'd let me go. I fill up boat trips with these, and he'd let me go. Then I started understanding the spots, being able to guide them, and then I started guiding them and going, and I was getting the best ways of my life. Like it was a dream come true. I knew, and then they opened up and Kandui Resort. I'm like, I can't believe I have a friend that owns part of this island, and also these boats. And I also met Jordan Hauer, also through Anthony. Jordan was our surf guide in 2002. He ended up being Anthony's partner in the business, also being partner in Kandui Resort, which later down the road, I don't know, 8 boat trips later, I started working for him, filling boat trips up and bringing pro surfers that were on the world tour or on the qualifying tour and guiding them around all the epic surf spots. And it was just a dream come true. I ended up going 18 times, sometimes twice a year. And I made sure never to profit anything. So I was really competitive because I was still working at the school district, still made some money surfing, and then also had this travel business where I was able, it wasn't my bread and butter to put food on the table. For me, it was an experience, so I gave everybody a discount. As long as my boss got his commission, who owned the place, I didn't need anything. I just wanted to get
As long as you got
You
your
got your trip.
Yeah, I wanted my trip. I wanted, what do you call it, enrichment and experience rather than get the money
Well,
and stay
that
home.
be able to be associated surf with one killer waves, but to see all these rippers, each new group each week. New
I saw
waves.
Blue Horizon being filmed right in front of my face on one of the trips.
Okay, so what mentalities? Favorite wave? Macaronis.
Close, Greenbush, right around it.
Ooh,
Greenbush.
I was
good,
gonna say
good call.
Greenbush.
I've seen you post quite a few.
Yeah,
from
Greenbush
there.
was really good. I remember we had
I
to try
never
and
got
find
to
it.
surf that spot.
I had
It's
to try
pretty-
and find it.
Yeah, it's pretty like fickle in regards to like
Wind and swell, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's just like anywhere.
So-
wind and swell, yes.
Linden's with Roxy's, which is one from Greenbush.
Yeah, it's like a high performance.
Para pussy!
I got it. No, I got it
pussy.
triple. I got it triple overhead, dude, on one of the biggest
Hey,
twice swells.
that wave
Roxy's?
is like a little.
Yeah, triple overhead. I got a
it's-
photo of it. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It is really good wave.
Yeah.
So-
yes.
You went on many missions there, right?
Yeah.
But just tell us how much was it? How much was a boat trip per person?
Well, back then, now it's upwards of $8,000. Back then, for $4,500 or $5,000, that would include your hotel for a stay night in Singapore, include your airfare. It would include the boat and even the photographer that you'd hire. So about $4,500 to $5,000, and it was
2
easy.
weeks, right?
Yeah, and my friends were in their 20s.
2 days.
It was You'd be
I mean,
gone.
2 weeks a trip, but
Correct.
2.
14
Yeah.
days gone, 10 days on a boat, and 10 days is plenty. Most people are surfed out and take one day off or,
Yeah.
or hit the reef, whatever. But
Oh,
Yeah, so it's
I know the guys like that.
No, it's sad. I know. I see guys get hurt on day one. I'm like, oh no. He's
Or
already patched up.
get sunstroke, like, or
I
they
got
just
that.
say like they surf. I'm like,
I got it.
don't surf for fucking 4 hours.
I got it on
straight.
day one. Sunstroke. I didn't wear sunblock on, and I didn't wear a shirt. I wanted to get tan. I figured I'm Persian. I get tan easy, and then I got cooked. I was like literally red. I had to put ice packs on my body. I was blacking out, trying to take a piss in the middle of the night. Like, yeah, my body was
It's
on fire.
real.
So
I already peeled by day 3.
Yeah.
you like, you're a core lord when it comes to the mental wise.
It was
Right.
yeah.
I mean,
The
there's-
ticket counter person at Singapore Airlines knew me on a first name basis when I walked to the counter.
Yeah.
That was pretty dope. I was like, wow. So hey, Tom,
You're
how's
going
it
twice a year.
Yeah, so they knew, and people knew me in the hotels. Surf guys were asking me where to go next.
And like $4,500, you know, let's just call it $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
You're going for free twice a year.
You could save free, but it's not easy to
Wrangle people.
You have to collect their deposits.
Yeah.
You have to. They can have 100
It's a
questions.
full-time job.
Yeah, you have to make sure their passports don't expire in 6 months. They want to know, oh, do I need
What
malaria?
shots, what-
Malaria?
yeah.
Do I
Yeah.
need typhoid? This, that. They're calling you. They're missing their flights. I had one guy miss his flight and had to reroute him because he got too drunk at the airport. It's not that easy. It's not fun.
No, it wasn't me.
No. But that's what you did. You got to go.
I backdoor the system.
Yeah, you backdoored the system.
You
Like,
can either ask a sponsor and
you
no,
weren't
and
out of pocket. You were.
No.
You did a lot
Sweat
of
equity.
Yeah, you did sweat.
Sweat.
equity.
Here's the best part. I was getting paid to do it from my work at the school district because I had 20 paid vacation days, 12 paid sick days, and paid holidays. So imagine getting your daily wage at the school district, but you're surfing in Indo, and then part of it's a tax write-off for surfing. It was my tax
of applause
guy
for this guy.
I had it all worked out. I had my
Yeah.
life all worked out up until my dad's stroke.
Even
what I
though
love.
you weren't a pro surfer.
Well, if I got a check, I was a pro surfer,
Yeah.
but I wasn't making a living to be able to buy a house and a big car.
Yeah, but you were getting, like you said,
I had 3 income streams.
living the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
with
And
no
that's-
pressure. These guys are wondering if their sponsors are going
And
to
that's
drop them
more-
next when a contract ends.
And that's more realistic for like 99% of the people out there. You know, how do I juggle school, work, like family life, whatever, and be able to like take surf trips?
It
Yeah.
gave me longevity because most of these people that I took that were pro surfers, maybe they had 1 or 2 free trips and then they're done. I kept going because I had this in.
I could tell we could have a whole episode on Mattelli trips. I've been once with this guy, and it was an epic trip.
It was an epic trip. We
Yeah.
didn't get the best waves, but it was pretty fun.
We got pretty fun waves. It was by far not the best.
I don't think you were. We didn't run into you
No.
on our trip, right?
No.
Yeah.
But
Was that 2014?
I have no idea. I
Because
could
you
you
were
guys went
11 or
2014?
14.
My last trip on a boat was 2011, and my last trip to Mentawais was 2013, and then just recently, last year, I had an 11-year gap of no Mentawais.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird. I've been there that long, and I had an 11-year gap. That just
Yeah.
shows you how old I am.
I'm just thankful I got it early before it was really crowded, and then I went back and it was crowded, but not really. It was
Yeah.
fine still.
We got lucky because we only had like 3 other boats to contend with, or 2.
You could still find
Yeah.
pockets. Things happen.
There's so many good waves,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah.
So you just went again last year?
For the first time in 11 years, and it was so breathtaking to be back. I was like, oh my God, I miss even the airport. I miss the connection. I cherished even the transit in the hotel. Like I wasn't even traveling. I think I didn't travel. I think I went on one surf trip in 9 years, which is,
Because you took care of your dad.
yeah, all that, and
Yeah.
it financially destroyed me. And I couldn't even do surf trips. It was gnarly. So that was,
And you kind of saw the growth of the Mentawai surf trip.
oh my
like
gosh,
you
my cell phone was
saw
working.
you saw
Yeah.
shitty boats being replaced by
Luxury
better boats
boats to being replaced by luxury resorts to, I went from satellite phone to regular phones being able to work in certain areas because of Starlink.
Yeah.
And then also high-speed internet being better than anywhere that I've ever had in the States at Candui Village. He has a business high speed. I'm like, what?
We stopped by there to have some beers.
Yeah.
And check out the resort, and we were
Picked up
watching.
beers at
We were watching.
Candui.
Yeah, we were watching ESPN or sports or whatever.
It's insane.
Poaching the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Candui Village, dude. Yeah, good place. Stoked.
But
Thanks, Jordan.
how funny to Anthony Marcotti, who's
Yes.
a Huntington Beach guy,
Yeah.
Marina High School, yeah.
Marina High School.
Yeah.
He actually worked at Huntington Surf and Sport too,
Wow.
right? Remember?
Yeah, and he's able to get in on a
Guy's an
boat,
entrepreneur.
to get in
Yeah.
on, can do it, and see the vision and pay his
Now he-
dues.
And hopefully he listens to the show. I'm pretty sure he does.
Well, now he just has this freaking
Camp,
yeah.
What's it
I heard it's
called?
blowing up. Some camp tackle bait drink.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We
It's on the
gotta-
beach in Carlsbad, and it's blowing up.
I gotta reach out to him.
Guy does everything. And he had like luxury resorts. He was doing it for there in Fiji, and I don't know. He has his
Yeah.
hands. He was a school teacher prior to all that,
Yeah,
and then
but-
he let it all go for all this.
And I heard that he actually worked for the mafia.
He told me stories about that. He mentioned something about Freemasons. He
No.
said mafia and Freemasons were mixed together, but I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
for sure.
It was the word.
Hey,
We'll get it from him.
Yeah, I heard the
We'll get
word
it.
Freemasons and mafia mixed together. I don't.
Yeah,
Maybe
M&M's.
So
Yeah.
I don't want to. If you don't want to talk about it, I think it's really commendable that you
Took care of your dad.
took care
Oh
of that.
no, I do want to talk about it because I want people to realize if you don't, your loved one will die in these nursing homes. I learned the dark side of healthcare and the dark side of life. People don't see it because we don't want to see it, or we believe the phone call. Oh, your dad's just resting. They're never resting. They're pilled out and sleeping, and they got him pilled out. So
Yeah, they want their life easy.
they want their life easy. They want their shift easy. They want their life easy. And you think, wow, he's resting. What a great place.
and they got a war,
Yeah.
a war chest of
Yeah.
drugs. I hate it. Give them
Yeah,
this, and they're
so
all
all-
going to be chill.
All those pamphlets
Ugh.
of walking through the garden and playing these activities is all bullshit. If your loved one doesn't have their independence and they're dependent on someone, whether it's for dressing, bathing, medication management, toileting, they're not doing what those places say. I had my dad in dozens, and they'll accept them. They look at the money first. They'll accept them. My dad needs this, pureed foods, softened, thickened fluids with powder. I've seen it all. I've seen him not thicken the powder. My dad's aspirating because he had dysphagia when he had his third stroke. He couldn't
Swallow great
yeah,
quickly.
so the water goes in your lung and you can die if water goes in your lung. So, or food. So they wouldn't thicken it, and I'm like, it says right there, 3 scoops. And then the first day at one facility, they put fish with bones in it. I don't even eat fish with bones in it. In a blender.
Nobody does.
Yeah, that's like old school. And then dropped it in a blender, assuming that the blender would chop all the bones apart.
Pureed
And they
the
served
bones?
served it to my dad, and he was pulling bones out in front of my face. I didn't know that she did this until I arrived. I'm like, why are there bones out? We just put it in a blender. These are untrained. They're not trained. They're not given any courses that are correct. And I don't care if it's 5-star and you're paying 15 grand or 1-star and you're sharing a room for 35 grand in your Belinda. The same caregiver works at both places. So it doesn't matter whether your loved one's in a Bel Air mansion or a freaking Rochi motel. The same caregivers in it. And it's all about profit margins. And the administrators just parking their 500 Mercedes SL. They don't give a shit. So be there, be involved, because I've seen it all. You want to get, slapped in the face, or you want a cold meal, you want to be left in wet diapers for hours. The thing is I had a job at the school district which allowed me to visit my dad during the days. So I wouldn't surf and I'd visit my dad, and I started seeing all this stuff. I started seeing them putting them in low-seated chairs so that they wouldn't get up, causing them to muscle waste. And they put it on TV, and sometimes it'd be a foreign channel that no one in the house can understand except for the caregivers, and it was for the caregivers and not the residents.
Ugh.
And they're just basically vegging out, and the brain is a muscle. So I took my dad out every day, and I went broke because I had to pay privately because
Did you get a lot of
a
resistance
lot of
as you
resistance.
challenged
They,
everything?
at first, they pretend like they like you visiting. Then they figure out they hate you visiting. They see you as a police coming over to police, but
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not there to
putting
police.
them in check.
I just want my dad to be changed out of shit in his pants that they didn't even bother putting him on a toilet. So most people tell me this, and I got to back it up. Well, why didn't he come live with you, or why didn't you come live with him? And that's coming from a mentality of upper middle class. My dad didn't own a home. He was on HUD housing, living by himself in a 1-bedroom apartment, and went through depression and all that. And I was renting a room from a landlord with another roommate. So he can't come live with me because it has to be handicap friendly. And I was living on a second floor and I had a roommate, and it's not ready.
Yeah.
I can't go live with him because when he had his stroke, it was a 5-month recovery. He lost that HUD housing apartment, and he was in a 5-month recovery, maybe even 6, between 90 days in a hospital, dying almost 4 times, to 4 months in skilled rehab, learning how to walk again. And so there's nowhere, he was pretty much homeless, and it was like the financial blind leading the financial blind. So I had to put together funds that I had, and finally I had to quit my job in 2018 when he declined so much that he could no longer walk to lowers. He could no longer walk more than 20 feet at a time. And it was so difficult watching this that I quit my job, and then I took my CalPERS pension retirement that I was supposed to get for retirement that I put 25 years into, and I had to burn through that supporting me and him, and I burned through it pretty quick in 3 years, 2 years, and then I went into debt, credit card debt funding it. And then it got even worse when the lockdowns happened. I finally went broke. I'm like, okay, I'm putting him in skilled nursing because now I'm dead broke. Put him in skilled nursing, still visiting like crazy. But then the pandemic happened and locked the elderly, isolated them. No more congregation, no more visiting, no more coming outside for sunlight and fresh air. And this goes Southern California wide. And my dad was crying. He was sitting in his own piss, his own shit. I would see, because I'd visit through the glass, and I'd see him in someone else's shoes with no socks, the same clothes that had piss in it. And they wouldn't answer my call. I'd have to drive over there. And finally, I just had to put together, I think they gave him stimulus checks and all this crap. I had to put this together and burn my credit cards even more. And because I had like 4 or 5 of them. And I took him to a private place that allowed me to take him out every day. So I took my dad out every day. We went to Catalina Island. We went everywhere. And we had a good time, sunshine. He was like a permanent fixture on Main Street. Went to Java Point pretty much every day for 5-6 years. And I kept him active, and I slowed the dementia down to where he never forgot who I was. I watched all his other roommates in all these facilities forget who their loved ones were, forget what time of day is, and their brain just turned to mush, and they end up dying of pneumonia because they're bedridden and their lungs collapse. Anyway, so that was a gnarly run. I'd done thousands of hours in the hospital, emergency rooms. I learned how to talk to surgeons, doctors. I've seen so much.
Do you keep a record of it too, like as far as?
I did at the time. I had a stack. I had a stack of folders that were thicker than 2 phone books of my dad's records of every time I visited. It was intense. I knew how to read labs. I had to take them for labs. It was like juggling everything.
Because I think with your experience and all of
it's draining to talk about.
No, for sure. But I mean, thanks for opening up on that because it's super gnarly and personal. But like you could put together like some sort of help book, you know?
I know I have to be an advocate for
people. And an advocate, like, hey, this is the do's or don'ts, or look out for this. And I know they're like with the web and the world and all the information
they can
out
find,
there,
but they don't believe.
Hey, like, I'm not just doing research. I lived this for 9 years. I could really help.
Because I was there. I had a job where I was there. Now the average person might be listening to this going, no, my mom was in a great place. She just died of old age. No, you weren't there in there. You made your visit once a week. They knew you were coming. They knew how to prop them up and make them look like everything's great.
Yeah, you get on a schedule. They're like, oh, you're coming back.
Yeah, they know you got to come in surprised. Like you look at, I had these visitor sheets at some of the residential care homes, and the only visitors were nurses and or doctors. The loved ones barely visited. Some people only visited when the rent was due and they read a couple verses of the Bible and bailed. And they were literally waiting for their assets. They were waiting for them to die to get their assets. And I don't know, it's just this sick world. And I saw people going for life insurance. I seen euthanasia done, which ended up being legal. It's like death with dignity. I'm like, this guy was more ambulatory than my dad, more vocal than my dad, and you literally killed him.
That's crazy.
Because they didn't want to have him live at home anymore.
Well, that and drain the resources of
the
state
I literally
or whatever,
saw a guy that came in healthier than my dad.
Oh, if he lives another 5 years, we're not going to get shit.
Correct.
You know,
in
like
6
might as well
months,
just let him go.
No, it was 3 months. In 3 months, a guy came in walking, talking, breathing, having a conversation with me. 3 months, he was already dying. What do you guys do? Oh, we're going to let dad go. And they just cranked up the morphine, stopped feeding him, and just let him go because his dad wanted to go home so bad they didn't want him to live with him.
And you're seeing it because you're
live.
present. You're
I'm
there
every day.
and they're coming in every once in a while. That's
I saw the most disgusting side of healthcare. I had ethics committee people telling me to pull the plug on my dad in 2011 when he, like I said, recovered to go to lowers and get on a handicap bus, go to adult daycare center for 6 years. It was gnarly. I seen doctors give too much insulin when I said don't do it. He's had nothing to eat. This is his insulin scale. They cranked it up, didn't listen to me because they figure I don't have a degree. And I came to get my dad, and he was hypoglycemic with a 40 blood sugar, covered in sweat, head to toe in the ER, 4 feet away from the nursing station, but they closed the curtains so they couldn't even see the patient. I'm all any more time and he would have been dead. And I already knew I'll get him dextrose because dextrose is a drug that you instantly boosts the sugar through injection. So I seen too much. I mean, I could take
That's
up
what I
4
mean.
hours of podcast.
I mean, I know it's not probably like.
I want to die quick when I get old because this system just drains you of money, and they treat the elderly. I've seen doctors, lawyers, officers, police officers, former police officers, all these type of people not immune to this type of care. They all come in there and they're neglected.
It's all for a money.
It's money, it's time consuming, it's money. I mean, if you're rich, you would set up surveillance cameras, you'd have your own place, and then you'd pay $40 to $50 an hour for a live-in caregiver. And you'd also have to be involved. You can't just leave your loved one unattended.
We have
That's very expensive.
family experience with an affluent family member that did have the means to have a full-time live-in caretaker.
They're
And
expensive.
right? And that caretaker trying to coerce, like, I'm your girlfriend, you need to sign these papers.
See?
Shady. You need to, like,
Shady.
you want me to be happy and I'm going to be kicked out on the street and I need, and I'm like, you want me to be, have a place and a roof and like, and somebody that has dementia and is gone and doesn't, and so
Right.
it doesn't matter who or what the situation is, you need to have oversight
Yeah, you need to be involved.
and be present. Like,
But you gave an extra 9 years
which is
to your dad.
insane.
Totally. We weren't as close until after his second stroke, which is the one that he needed care. He could no longer drive a car. He could no longer. So yeah, we became close afterwards, and we became almost like best friends. It was pretty weird. I became the father. He became my son.
Yeah.
It was really weird. I had to grow up fast, study medicine, and understand it because I challenged a lot of doctors, and it saved his life on many occasions. I have one of the posts on my Instagram. But yeah, I had doctors tell me just let him go. He's not going to be able to walk, talk. I had another one where this surgery is not possible. It's impossible. Three opinions. It's impossible. I found a surgeon on Google who got me to the right guy through my dad's insurance network, and he got my dad to be able to talk and breathe from his nose and mouth because he had scar tissue buildup in his throat. That took 2.5 hours of lasering, and that was caused by prolonged intubation tube in his throat when he had the initial stroke and was on life support. I learned a lot really quick, and I did it single. It was the most stress I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, not having somebody to, like, others, not just family, but other people. I mean, the money thing is one thing, but the emotional support and just
Everything
the
was
time.
coming at me. Yeah, I had everything. So I was like being the doctor, the lawyer, the caregiver, the son, and the financier, and I was not wealthy. And it was like so difficult. Nobody was coming to save me, or my dad. It was like the biggest test of life. It was crazy.
Well,
So crazy.
to segue to, you gave your dad, and it's highly like commendable that you loved your dad so much and you put everything into it.
Dude. Insane.
And I think you're being rewarded now with, I mean, not that it's everything, but it's fucking cool that, to change the subject, but you're like getting blessed with frickin' acting.
Yes, no.
That was a weird segue.
It was a weird segue.
But-
Yeah,
But it's like,
but
you're kind
he
of
was-
being rewarded finally.
It is weird. It is weird because I went a lot faster. I mean, in surfing, it took me, it was so difficult. I felt I was fighting a current as far as like going pro or whatever. But in acting, I felt like I just hopped on a freaking rocket ship, and
So
I'm like,
how did this happen?
what is going on?
But let's just set it up here. COVID, you're dead broke. You've maxed out everything. You're barely surviving. You don't have a pension or
filed
retirement.
bankruptcy. I filed bankruptcy.
And
I didn't.
you're
I mean, that's
you're
how
not
broke I
working
was.
as
Filed
a school maintenance anymore, or were you still through all this process?
through that process, I was not. And then towards my dad's passing, I entered back in as a substitute custodian to try and become permanent again.
Yeah.
And I was going against the grain. Nobody would hire me. I had 30 years of experience. I had 6 letters of recommendation. I had evaluations. No one would hire me. I don't know if it's DEI or what, because maybe they consider me Caucasian or what. I watched guys get hired with little experience and then get fired literally within a year. I'm like,
Because
I couldn't
they're
get hired.
incom-
They're incompetent, but I think they're going after their race card, and I think they consider me Caucasian because there was a certain checkbox that I wasn't that race. I'm not even going to say it. So anyways, the point is DEI was very, very big in the school district system. As a matter of fact, I went and applied for a job and I saw, are you Latino or white? And I'm like, oh, that's a weird. I put, okay, white. Are you white Spanish, white Middle Eastern, white European? I was like, dude, what does any of this matter?
Yeah.
Let's look at the freaking skill. So I've seen 5 or 6 people get hired before me and already be forced to resign. One had sex in a classroom. 1 custodian, a female that had sex in a classroom, female custodian. That was recent. 3 of them were, I'm going to say this on blast. 3 of them were told to resign because they were caught on surveillance, leaving work 2 to 3 hours early for months at a time. One was leaving creepy Post-it notes for people. So I'm sitting here as a sub going, what the hell is going on? So
I'm overqualified.
Yeah, I'm
like
overqualified. Nobody wants
like-
to hire me. I'm athletic. These people were not athletic at all. Anyways, it's a scam. That's one thing I got to say about the president and that DEI shit. Just get people that can do the job.
Yeah.
That's it.
Meritocracy.
I'm all about race and mixed cultures and all that. But when you're prioritizing a race over their ability, I don't want a captain of a plane because it's a certain race but with no ability to fly my plane.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Bullshit.
Anyways, so
but like Lyndon was trying to segue, and you're like,
I
you just
couldn't do it.
sacrificed
Couldn't
9
even- I
years.
couldn't even
You're
get a job,
broke.
I was
couldn't get a
broke,
job.
Couldn't get a job like permanent. So
And what led you to believe that you're gonna like all of a
'cause-
sudden be an actor?
Yeah, what?
Because at this point I had just given up, and I was so pissed off. I remember
I'm
yelling.
gonna go with the hardest industry to get a niche in. So
I picked up the phone. I called my mom. I was complaining about what's going on. I need someone to vent to. I don't have any kids or a wife. So I'm like, dude, what the hell's going on? So I go, she goes, what do you want to do? I go, I want to be an actor. I want to entertain people. Damn it, that's what I want to do. And so
Have you thought about acting like?
yeah, when I was really young, 8 years old, seemed unobtainable. We used to walk down Hollywood Boulevard in like a Miami Vice clothing. It was hilarious. Yeah, I think I have a picture.
Of Don
I'm
Johnson.
never sending anyone that. I'd be like a hybrid between Don Johnson and Tubbs.
Well,
But it was,
you could have been Magnum PI with a stash.
yeah, that'd been funny. No,
So
but
wait, you called your mom.
I was pissed. I was,
Okay.
and not that she helped me, but that was the first person I called and that I said, this is what I want to do. And so after that, I was like, how do I do it? And so I called Bo Jesse Christopher, who you've interviewed.
Yeah.
She's up, come in and audit some of my acting classes. So I did. I came in and I started paying. I was going for 4 months. Called my friend Jeff Barnett, who I've been begging to get into acting for 2 decades, but I don't know, whatever. So finally he's like, okay.
What about, because he's the stunt.
He's a stunt coordinator.
yeah.
He's done acting. He's done it all.
Shane
He's-
Magnuson.
The guy, he's got all
Yeah.
my friends' jobs.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pause there. He's even gone so far as to put a wig on someone with a shaved head to get him a job. I'm like, whatever.
REZZY, you can't do a surf cameo because there's not a lot of guys that
So it's pretty funny.
So all this time goes by, and you're at the bottom of
the barrel
your
life, yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're like, fuck, man, like I can't get a job,
yeah.
a full-time custodian
something
job.
I've
job
been doing for 30 years.
Yeah.
I couldn't get, and then I couldn't get. Remember, I'm also trying to revolve this around surfing as well, right?
Yeah.
Not be able to shelf that, because you shelf that, it's like writing a check. How many zeros do you want to check to shelf it? Anyway, so the point is so then I called Jeff, and Jeff's like, you need to get on, background acting first. So he told me where to go. I went and did it, and I was like shocked that it's minimum wage. I'm like, I've never worked for minimum wage in my life. As I mentioned, my first job as a custodian was higher than minimum wage. I went to minimum wage from the rock bottom, and I did
So
it.
where? Where'd you go?
It's like stand-ins, like in the back. Like
Background
no,
Okay.
background extra.
yeah,
Background.
no verbal,
So no
Yeah,
verbal.
you're just
You're in the
sitting
back.
in
You're
there.
way in the back. So I did that.
no buffet, nothing.
I did that, and I started, realizing, like, oh, this is like a free Universal Studios tour. Only you're getting paid. This is unbelievable. I'd go to these sets. I'm like, I'm getting paid to go to Universal Studios. So then eventually they started seeing I'm reliable. I'm coming in on time, and then you have to get these things called vouchers, One of the ways you become SAG is to get a voucher. It's very difficult. It's by happenstance. If somebody that looks like you calls in absent because of whatever reason, maybe they got a speaking part in a role, maybe they got sick or the car broke down, you get their voucher. You don't know when it's going to come. I started accumulating vouchers. I was taking all these background jobs, and then I got 3 vouchers over a year.
Fuck, this guy's on it. He's
I was
showing
on
up
it.
to
I was showing up to
everything.
everything. I was taking
On
everything.
time, no complaints.
So I got my voucher, and then I became SAG. And once you become SAG, it's the next level.
It's easier to get hired.
Yeah, and then so I had an agent that didn't want me to be SAG. She's like, no, we want you non-union so I can send you out on these commercial jobs that are non-union. But I was like, no, pedal to the metal. I think I was 46 or 47. I was like, I don't have time to waste anymore. I've already wasted enough life. So I went and became SAG, paid $3,000 on the credit card, knew I was getting a tax return.
So you had to pay for the SAG card.
Yeah, you have to pay to be a member. So even becoming a member, some people are eligible and couldn't afford it, but I had a credit limit. I did it, and then I knew I was getting a tax return. So I became SAG right during tax season. Worked out perfect. This is where it goes hyper speed. So now
So wait, you mentioned Bojes Chris.
yes, I did 4 months of acting classes with them.
Now, was
driving
this-
to LA, Hollywood.
Was this prior to being SAG?
Prior to being SAG. So,
Okay.
and then Bo Jesse told me, he helped me with the roadmap, what websites you need to get for acting, what casting websites, what you need to do. I paid for the consultation
How long
and-
ago was this?
2 years ago.
2023?
So we interviewed Bo already.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And we interviewed.
I was already friends with Bo because he didn't mention, but we went to Indonesia together for 16 days. We went to
shit.
G-Land, we went to Desert Point, and we went to Karamas. You
What a
should have
small
mentioned that.
fucking world.
Yeah, we went around the world together. So I already knew him, he already knew me. So, and then I took Ivana Chubbuck, which is like another acting class. She trained Brad Pitt. Freaking, this is the one a friend of mine, Matt Flanagan, told me to go to as well. So I went there, and that was like Ivana Chubbuck. She's like very well known in the industry. She's got Oscars for people. So when I got into that class, it was extremely intimidating. I just surfed a board writers event, and now I went to Hollywood that night, 7 p.m., sitting around artists that have been doing this their whole life as long as I've been surfing. Totally different mannerisms, totally different look. Like these are nobody in the room
So
is a
intimidating.
surfer. Yeah, and they're like performing on stage scenes from Philadelphia, and I'm like, I just felt like I just saw a live play. So I knew how to up my game. So I was given a scene with Jackie Gleason and Tom Hanks. Nothing in common. I played Jackie Gleason. My other scene partner played Tom Hanks, and I remember nailing it and getting a huge applause. And I remember
Wow.
getting hands shooken from the guys that I thought were, these are working actors. They're actually on shows. They come into these classes. They're on shows that you may watch.
But they're still
perfecting
polishing,
their
yeah.
craft. The
Yeah.
issue is that it costs money. It's $300 a month. So it could be costly. So, but you put that on your resume, it shows that you're serious. You're not just trying to get famous and get a check. No, you're serious. I put a lot of miles in going to LA, and so once I became SAG, this guy started getting some other background union jobs, just the pay just almost doubles. Then I got a role as a governor. I was handpicked out of 30 people to get a role as a governor on a major movie called Mercy. And I went and Googled it on IMDb, and I saw Chris Pratt's a star. I'm like, no way, I'm going to be the governor. I bet Chris Pratt's going to be next to me in the role. There's no way a governor is going to be thrown in the bleachers. So
how many interviews or
how many
not interviews but
shows?
Did you get a job? Did you do other things before this?
No.
yeah, that's
So
what
this
it's
Mercy thing was the first.
Yeah, I
acting
got no.
casting calls
No.
casting calls.
No. So this is interesting. So I'm going in as a featured background, not going in.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going in as a governor. I'm not supposed to talk. Chris Pratt's behind the podium. I introduced myself. I got along with him. I got along with the stand-in Clay a lot. Everything. The vibe was good. There was a bunch of background with me.
Do you drop surfing? I'm a fucking surfer.
No, I think they already know. Because they see your profile.
Yeah.
So when I'm being casted, they see your profile.
They know who you are.
They Google you. They're not going to let some ex-convict go stand next to him, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean. They don't want a guy that's going to ask for autographs.
Check
and
my
selfies.
edits.
Hold on. Have you landed or acted in anything yet?
Only a reality show in 2007 that was on the USA Channel where I played a surfer teaching a girl how to surf that played in between National Treasure. That was it. It was not anything with scripted, and it was improvised.
Nothing that carried weight. Like
nothing that would carry weight.
Yeah.
2007.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I was on USA.
So like
Went off.
way.
Yeah, went off.
No, yeah. So I just done background work, and I just became SAG, and I had a couple more background jobs with SAG pay, which is higher. And you become.
What were those jobs though? Like, was it acting? Was it?
Yeah, it's acting. I'm sorry. When I say background, yeah, I'm talking slang. Sorry. Yeah, like you're acting. Like, say you're the main character, right, in a film.
And
You have a
having
speaking
conversation
part.
with somebody
Yeah,
in the
and I'm here, and you say, hand me a drink. I'm on screen. I'm handing you a drink, or if I'm the doctor, I'm giving you the scalpel.
Yeah.
But I can't speak. But I'm right there next to you.
Yeah.
That's considered background.
Okay.
Once you talk, you're principal.
Yeah.
Very rarely do you have a non-speaking part that's principal, like maybe a villain in the movie that doesn't talk the whole time. Yeah. Maybe you got the Jason mask on.
Yeah.
Maybe you got the Jason mask on. Your Friday the 13th.
How long after you got SAG did you get this mercy?
2 months.
Okay.
Like you said, it was a gift. So I'm at first. We do the scene. It's an amazing scene, and
Because Chris Pratt's a big star
he's
Huge.
the top
Yeah.
3 highest grossing actor in the world in history.
in history.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's bigger than I thought.
No, he is because it's about grossing money, and so being in those Marvel films and being in the Jurassic Park, these are big blockbusters, family-oriented films, and they generate a ton of money. Anyway, so yeah, he's up there. He's A-list. So everything's cool. We do the scene. Everything's
Parks and Recreation.
yeah. He did a TV show. And
Yeah.
so anyways, so we do the scene, and everything's great, and I leave, and I'm done, and that's not the role, right? I'm like, okay, cool. I got a scene with Chris Pratt standing next to him, and he's giving a cool speech. 3 days later, I get a phone call. Hey, they want to invite you to be part of the cast and crew. I literally I had butterflies, goosebumps. I think a
Of
tear.
mercy?
Yes, a tear came down my eye. I was like,
So they're continue writing like
they wrote me into the movie, dude.
Oh
A
my
tear came down
God.
my eye. I'm like, this is every
Was it-
every YouTube video I ever saw says it never happens this way.
They wrote you
Everything.
in the movie.
Yes, every YouTube video I saw says you will never go anywhere by the way I did.
Beyond stoked that you're getting your break, but
Beyond stoked.
What the hell am I? What if I fucking farm it and blow it?
No,
You know,
no, I was
how's that?
confident. No.
You were
I was
confident.
confident. I'll tell you why I was confident. I took acting classes. That's why I
Yeah.
took it. Number one, I knew it was destiny because of the way it happened. So I
Love
knew
it.
I was going to do it. I knew I was going to do it, and I wasn't scared. I was like, this is it. This is my destiny. That's why you're going so fast. That's why you couldn't get the job as a janitor. That's why, you're going
Things
against the
happen
grain.
manifested.
Yeah, this is like the seas parted. So, and everyone I talk to on set says it never has happened like that for them. Maybe they get one line, maybe they get four words, but this is huge.
So, what do you think it was that Chris Pratt and the stand-in liked you, and they said?
I think there's
"This
a couple
dude's
things
cool."
about. I think if I were to guess, I think my vibe. I think I looked the part. I left out a key part, guys. They screen
Fucking leave out.
No, they
keyboards,
screen tested me. So after the scene where I was not supposed to talk, and everything is about to end, they said it's a wrap. A guy comes up with a camera, which I believe was the producer. I didn't know. Comes up with a camera. He's like, "Hey," points to me. He's like, "Get behind the podium." I got behind the podium. This is when I knew something was up. I got behind the podium. He goes, "Say something." And I knew what the plot was because I freaking Googled the plot. I did my homework, and I literally bolted out some improv lines. And he had some Secret Service agents get behind me when he did it and recorded it. He's like, "Perfect." I was midway through my speech, and he goes, "Perfect," and left and vanished. And I came home and I told my roommate, and I asked Bo Jesse, "What do you think that was?" I go, "I believe that was a screen test. I think I was tested for speaking."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah,
Principal
right,
part.
you're delusional."
That's what they're all, yeah.
They're like, "That doesn't work."
Sure.
That doesn't work like
He
that.
goes, "I think that's for the DVD extra at the end." And then my roommate goes, even though he has no experience in film, he goes, "I think that was a screen test." I believe it was. 3 days goes by, I got the call. So they were seeing what kind of voice I had. If I had a certain speech problem, they would have been like, "No, the voice doesn't match the face." Or anything,
Yeah.
Whatever. They wanted to see.
Like Linens, he sounds like he's 6 foot, but
Right.
based on his voice.
So I didn't know.
It's just
I
totally.
didn't know how important your voice is to your looks. So there's
Yeah.
a correlation. So I think it had to do with that screen test, the vibe, and then I think maybe I'm gonna guess they went on my casting websites because they have access to it. As a matter of fact, I heard they called SAG and made sure that I was SAG and paid up before I could come on the set.
They have to.
Yeah, it's the laws. So I think they did a little quick background check. You know, this guy took acting classes. So this guy did this thing. He's not just some guy we're giving a shot that's just a shot in the dark.
Yeah. So
They're putting a lot of
Mercy
effort.
is
They're putting
a lot of
risk
effort on
into
their
this.
end. Yeah.
Mercy is
Huge risk.
What is Mercy? Is it
Okay, I can tell you what now that so CinemaCon happened last week, and the top 6 studios or top 5 studios went and announced their biggest 4 films for the coming year, and Mercy was announced for Amazon MGM. So this is what I can tell you that they said. Mercy is the name of the AI. There's a Mercy judge, and in the near future, 2026, 2027, California goes into high unemployment, economic crisis, and high crime, and there's capital punishment. And
Sounds like where we're at right now.
that's predictive programming. No, so you go to the Mercy Court. It grabs everything based on your case: audio, text messages, surveillance cameras, everything Big Brother you could think of. Yeah. It gathers all the data, and it gave Chris Pratt a 97% guilty ratio of committing murder.
AI did.
And he's a police officer, and he's a detective who's for the Mercy system and the Mercy Court prior to being accused. Now he's accused, and he has 90 minutes to prove his innocence. And the AI judge gives him the access to all the same data that the AI judge had, and he has 90 minutes to lower his rating from 97% down to 90%, or else he dies in that chair. I don't know how he dies, but I'm the governor that introduces the Mercy program, so I have a key part in the film, and that's it. That's all.
Wow.
The Newsom of 2020.
Yeah. So it's
2035.
So I'm super
Can I call you
stoked.
governor from now on?
Governor.
Yeah. Sure.
Hey, Bud Long was the mayor. You're the governor.
That's pretty funny. I'm a notch higher in status, but not in.
Wait, you
so good though.
have not talked about. I mean, you went straight to the fucking finale here, dude. You got to talk about CSI.
What's CSI?
Weren't you on some fucking other shit on
No,
TV?
Yeah, but this is bigger.
I know this is bigger, but
no. I've been on 30 shows, but this is the big break.
30 shows already.
Yeah, I've done 30 shows
in 2 years. Less than 2 years.
I'm getting booked a lot. This is good.
I know.
Oh, I was on Dexter Original Sin for 3 months, and it was a core.
Dude, you
cast
went
member.
straight to the fucking main course, and you didn't talk about the appetizers, bro.
Yeah. I know, no. Yeah, so well, because Mercy.
And I kept asking you, did you do other things before
Yeah, I did.
this?
But the thing is, no.
No. We got to redo this.
Hey.
No, we can't redo it. We can't redo
There's
it.
only
because
one governor, dude.
We can't redo this because I told you I was doing background work, but you didn't understand what background work meant. So I was already on about 15 shows prior to Mercy.
Because Dexter's big, dude.
Huge.
I didn't get on Dexter till after Mercy.
Okay.
So I didn't even talk about shooting it, right? So I went in, I had my own trailer, and
Trailer for what?
Trailer,
Mercy?
yeah. When you get upgraded, you get your own private trailer with your name. It said governor on my door.
You got photos and
how much
document
you
all
get
this?
paid?
I can't talk about that.
Yeah.
But it's
Lyndon loves numbers.
yeah.
Come on, how
But
much
you
you
don't get the A-list money until you become popular, until the film grosses more and all that, and you become popular. Or you don't get the higher.
Can you at least tell us how the contract works? You get a base, and then there's
a base and
incentives
residuals. Yeah,
based
base
on-
and residuals, and then the contract came from me before I shot it, and I'm in no
Who
position.
looks this contract
To
over?
negotiate, right?
I had a friend of
agent.
mine look over the contract and SAG. I had SAG look over it too.
The SAG is the union.
Yeah. Just please make sure.
We
I'm
have
not
that for
making mistakes.
realtors. We have in-house.
I don't know. You know what I mean? But either way, I was so grateful. I'm not here to do anything. So I'm just great. This is a big shot.
No,
so,
dude, it's insane.
So I get my own trailer, which is what they do when you get this upgrade, and it's cool. I have my own shower and this and that. So I'm in there for the whole time. I'm trying to memorize my lines. I don't give a shit about the TV. TV's off. I'm not trying to get any sleep. I think I was up at 4 in the morning, even though I had to be there probably by 9. I was still up at 4 in the morning. They gave me my script 1 day before shooting.
Gnarly.
Dude, do you know how much pressure that is? One day before shooting. Most people get it weeks before. So like they gave it to me. They treated me like as if I was already the advanced freaking guy. So I was like, okay. So I just sat in my trailer trying to memorize it. And I remember
Your sponsor me tape hasn't even been made.
dude. So
here's my contest result.
Dude. So I remember getting on set and everyone's there's like 80 people in the room. I can't even keep track. Chris Pratt's in the room, the producers in the room. This is a big film. I'm like, holy shit! This is not like an indie film. This is not a short. This is not straight to DVD.
This is blockbuster.
This is actually blockbuster because they announced that it's going to be one of their highly promoted films of next year. It's insane. So I get there and so he says action. I remember my heart pounding extremely hard. I could like.
What are you dressed like?
Like a governor.
Like in a suit.
I have a picture. They sent it to me. I cannot show you on camera.
Okay.
But I'll show you that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
You're distinguished.
I'm distinguished. It's pretty badass, and I can't tell you the most of the setting, but they said action.
They didn't have to even fuck with your hair.
And
your hair is governor style.
yeah, they I did go to hair and makeup, and you know they have to go there. But anyway, so I did.
But you got governor hair.
Yeah, thankfully, yeah. So I got the gray hair on the sides. It works perfect.
Yeah.
So I remember they said action, my heart was pounding, and I just channeled it and I did it, and I remember them clapping, and I was like, oh my god.
Can you recite a line?
No.
Not at all. No, it's intellectual property.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't want to blow it, dude. I don't want to. I don't want to let it out. Like if it's gonna be in a trailer, cool. Put it in
Hey,
the trailer.
he needs royalties. We need everybody to fucking fill a seat at the block
Yeah, I know. Yeah, what do you want to show this? Like, the Maps to Nowhere release that they went in October. I'm just kidding. That's Maps to Nowhere. No, anyways, the point is yeah, I did it. They clapped, and I remember thinking, well, I don't hear clapping often when I'm on set. Very seldom have I heard it. But I knew why they were clapping in my head. I was like, number one, they didn't know if this bet they placed was going to pan out, right? Was I going to stutter? Was I going to get stage fright? Was I going to fumble it? And they clapped. I'm like, it's like fuck. And then that gave me confidence. Did 4 more takes. The director came and talked to me. His name's Timur. He did the movie Wanted with Angelina Jolie and Morgan Freeman, where they bend bullets and they're secret society.
Saw that shit.
So Chris Pratt's first was in his film. That was like his first big film in 2007 when it came out. And he had a short part in it. Now here he is as an A-lister, the main guy working with the director again. It's pretty cool seeing that come around full circle. So I paid attention. Anyways, the director talks to me. He's like, he was Russian, and he told me, he told me to pan my eyes a certain direction, and he did that. I did that, and we were done, and I was wrapped. And then I remember Chris Pratt's double come up. He was like, "Congrats, Governor, you did it." 'Cause we had a bond from 10 days prior when I had no speaking line, and I go, "Who got me in here? Who's the one who gave me my shot?" He's like, "You won the lottery," and he high-fived me, and then the assistant director came up and shook my hand. He's like, "Great job." I was just stoked that
Wow.
Yeah, and
that's huge.
Yeah, because I heard them say this, guys, it's Friday, let's try and get this done. I know time is money on sets. Every minute that ticks by, they're eating up. And I remember they're ready to move on to the next scene. I looked over and it was like a makeshift city to my right. I'm like, dude, this looks like I'm in a city. I'm in a soundstage. Like you can't film the moon landing, dude. Yeah. That is how gnarly it is in Hollywood. Dude, I was like, I saw a city and buildings. I'm like, what, they put a freaking city inside this? How? And so anyway, so they're already ready to move on. I shook my hands and I met the director and I said, thank you. He was stoked and I was done and I was left on a buzz, on a high. And now it's...
So that's your only part in the whole movie, like speaking.
Yeah, exactly. If you think about it, it's actually, for a big break, for a first time, massive. Because it could have been... This is going to be like a big film.
Yeah. Four takes, which is, I don't know if that's good.
That's great. No, they wanted different variations.
Yeah.
They wanted me to different cameras.
Cut
they did one angle from this way, one angle this way, one angle the camera going up, me panning the direction. So yeah, it was great.
So there wasn't like one that you're like, oh, it's take two, that guy killed it. They kind of just collage it
No,
together.
remember that when you do it, like say you guys have dialogue in a movie, they'll do an angle from here, an angle from there, an angle from there, and a pull back angle. And then go with the best ones and mesh them together as you do it. So it's necessary to get more than one angle because it's the last time. What if you go back to the computer like, I forgot to do this. I forgot to tell them to do this. So they overshoot. Yeah, they overshoot it. But I did it quick, dude. I was like in and out of there pretty quick. And then, it's just, if you think about it, if a commercial is 30 seconds, right? It's pretty long. And now imagine you have your own commercial of you talking for 30 seconds.
That's crazy.
So mine's longer than 30 seconds. So I'm psyched.
And this comes out in January?
Yeah, it was going to come out on my dad's birthday, which really made it prophetic. Like, oh my God, I'm in the right place. It was scheduled on my dad's birthday. And I was like, that, and it was like that up until this year. They changed it and kicked it back 5 months.
Yeah.
But I think I know why.
Are you,
Maybe they're predicting the economy.
are you, you got up at 4, you studied like crazy for 4 or 5 hours before the tape.
Even the day before.
Even the day before, but does that come easy, the memory of the lines, or does it like, because some people have...
Some people can pick it up quick,
like,
but the people that pick it up quick have been doing it forever.
Yeah.
Like, I can do a floater,
So
no
it's
problem.
like training. Like,
I can do a floater, no problem. You fucking want me to do a floater on a wave? Yeah, I've been doing this all my life. So
Yeah.
for those people, yeah, for sure. They can pick it up within hours, but it does take, a couple of days to get a scene down.
Yeah.
But like,
if you're a serious actor and you're in a big role like that, you gotta like throw every single like
I recorded myself doing
face expression.
Yeah, I recorded myself in my room doing it on a ring light and seeing if it was believable, showing it to my roommate.
Saying it the way, like
I did.
saying words differently.
I had the
just to get
mannerisms,
that.
and the motions, the tempo of the words.
Just please don't tell me you didn't do the governor fucking lucid
the hand.
No, I didn't do.
Jazz.
We are buying because we need. No, I didn't do any of that shit. No, I didn't do that.
Yeah,
But
no Kung Fu Warrior.
Okay.
hopefully, there's a sequel because apparently it's left open for a sequel.
That
So
That would be the governor comes back.
Can we talk about
didn't
the
get killed.
appetizer stuff though now?
Sure, yeah.
'Cause
the other stuff before and after, because I shot Mercy and it was done in May 2024. That's how long ago I shot this.
Yeah.
It's already been almost a year.
It's so wild.
Yeah. What? Okay, so Dexter, you were.
Yeah, that was
And what did you? What
detective.
Okay.
So that was cool.
Yes. No speaking part.
No speaking, just in the same scenes with like
Picking up brain.
Patrick Gibson who plays. Yeah, I know Patrick Gibson who plays Dexter. We became friends. And then you're Patrick Dempsey, Christian Slater. There's a lot. Sarah Michelle Gellar. It's pretty crazy because it's a lot of the '90s huge actors. All in the same
Great
room.
show.
Yeah.
Big. It was ended up being a hit. They're already going to do season 2. There's a potential I could be brought back for filming. I'm told, but we'll see. But yeah, so
Is that decent money?
yeah, absolutely. It's very consistent because they're shooting for 3 to 4 months straight, and I didn't show up until episode 3, and they started a month and a half before episode 3 of filming. So it's a good income. It's stable work. And, who knows, it leaves room to be upgraded to a speaking part because at some point you're going to have to interact.
And once people see Mercy and you having the speaking part,
You nailed it.
that's just going to
You nailed it.
Yeah.
It's going to be an open door. So basically that's why they call it a big break.
Have you done any commercials?
No, I haven't done any commercials and I'd love to. I heard the pay is really good too. I heard it's very difficult and it's very competitive and there's not that much work in California right now.
No, and you got to be again,
Probably.
you got to be hired as another, just
What's
Yeah.
funny is we just had Corky Carol.
Okay.
DEI.
You
I
know-
mean,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm just saying, like it's they're very, a lot of commercials.
Could be. Yeah. I
It's-
can't believe the district is like that, man.
It's just wild on like that. But so you get a day rate, right? So you're not having to wait for this movie to come out in 2 years to make money. Like they're paying you.
I already got paid. That part's done. And
you're
then
digging yourself out of your.
I'm doing all these jobs have dug me out.
Awesome.
Being on those 30 different shows have dug me out. You get double time.
So can you tell us what shows? So Dexter.
I can't keep track. So
30 did.
So the Pit is a very big medical show. I heard it's by all the people from ER that made ER. They made the Pit, and I'm in that. I was worked on that for 3 months, and then Dexter Original Sin.
Now is the Pit already out?
It's already out. It's already done. So you go on.
You have like shots in it.
Yeah, I have shots in it. The thing is you might be filming episode 1 and 2, but it may not make the cutting room floor.
Right.
So what I'm saying is like there have been actors that shot an entire movie and their whole role got cut out. When I read some of that stuff and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Let's just say hypothetically is that there's a chance the governor role gets cut out, and anything can happen, right? it did say I introduced the Mercy program, which is a huge part of the title of the film, but I do, in the very back of my mind, know that these things happen.
Yeah.
And I've dealt with so much in my life, as you've heard, that if that happened, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to freaking cry about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, so The Pit and Dexter Original Sin, I worked on those as core. Core is when you're on it, not just for one episode, you're working on every on the set, reoccurring, correct. And then there's been just a lot of, I can't even keep track. Oh, so the Green Lantern has a TV show spin-off, and so far I've been called in as a militia, playing one of the militia, and reoccurring. So I worked 2 days 2 weeks ago, and I'm working again this week, and then I'm working again 3 days next week, and it's really great. It stars Kyle Chandler, really good actor. He plays the Green Lantern, and it's a huge HBO deal. And what other shows? I'm trying to keep. Oh, I did it funny. I was actually used as a hand model on Euphoria. Dude, this is hilarious. So I'm like
George Costanza.
Dude, hand model. Everybody says it, dude. So they're like, we need a DEA looking type. I'm like, all right. So I show
Drug
up.
enforcement
Jeff
agency
Barnett,
type?
Jeff Barnett was on the set, and we met each other. It's pretty cool. He's a stunt coordinator for Euphoria. So Euphoria season 3 has just been filming, and I get called in for a DEA looking type. So I don't know what's going on. So I see this Dodge Charger, and they put me inside it, and they told me to light a cigarette and smoke it. So my hand's hanging outside this Dodge Charger, and I'm working directly with the director, Sam Levingston. He's like big time TV show director right now. I think he's like 40, but he did Euphoria. He wrote.
We need to hold a cigarette.
So they'd have to be like this or like this. So there's an art to holding a cigarette, and I was like, yeah, we need it more masculine because it's a DEA agent.
Yeah.
Don't be holding like this. So that was suggested at one point.
You should have seen how Lyndon held his clothes back in the day.
So I don't condone smoking. I don't smoke. We'll talk about health later. But yeah, so like he told me, ash it and this and that. They had the camera on my hand, and me taking the puff, and the camera on my hand, and the side of the Charger looking at Zendaya. She's like the hottest actress around, youth Hollywood actress. She's the main cat. Okay, all right, cool. So she's in her car, and it has me spying on her from a distance. A mystery guy, mystery DEA agent, kind of on a stakeout in this Charger, smoking a cigarette, eyeballing her as she leaves some shady area. So that was my scene. I'm like, did I just become a hand model? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, aren't they going to show this DEA agent at some point throughout the film? Because if I was watching it and I saw some hand and a cigarette in a freaking pretty badass car, checking out the lead actress, the viewer's going to want to know who it is. So I don't know if I was replacing the main actor using his hand, smoking a cigarette to save production money. Yeah. Right? Because his day rate might be 10, 30, 40, 100 grand. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know who the guy is. But that was a funny deal. That was the first time I ever being a hand model. So I legitimately was a hand model in a major TV show. Right there with the main actors.
So your book, your portfolio, do they do hand? Like how,
I have, you nailed it, bro. I have the tops of my hand and the bottom of my hand. Right now that was from moving, so I'll probably clean that off. But you get a blister from furniture wrapped on it. But they have my hands photographed as a hand model. Yeah, I have everything. They have 360. You have these profiles that take photos of your whole body. They want to make sure that you're updating your headshots with their selfie on a thing, because you could have gained weight, you could have got a scar on your face.
Could have a beard. I mean, do they?
You could get a beard. They'll tell you if they want it.
Yeah.
They'll tell you.
Hey, grow out your beard for a month, and then we need a photo of it.
Yeah, they'll tell you if they want this, that.
You jump. How high?
Yeah. So that's.
I had has any casting or any situation asked if you're okay getting naked?
That will come in on submission. I usually turn it down.
Yeah.
I don't apply.
Because I've gone on 3 casting calls because somebody called and said, hey, you might be a fit. I've never had. This is 20, 30 years ago, and one was for a fragrance, and they asked are you okay getting naked? Would you mind getting naked in front of us? And I was like, fuck, really? This happens? This is how it is? I had no idea. I thought it was
well, the athletes did it,
Can you walk on the beach without, with shorts on?
Coco Ho did it. Kelly Slater, Coco Ho, and Courtney Conlon did it for that sports. What was that?
Oh, that's weird.
So yeah, it's
SI.
weird. It's weird because we're not used to it. They did ask me permission. Are you okay with smoking?
Then Lars shook
You know?
the guy's hand.
That's pretty cool.
And it was
And there's like a claw, and he's like, "Are you okay with doing a screen
I'm
test?"
only
at my,
coming in if it's
Are you
naked.
okay doing a screen test at my place at 9
My
o'clock tonight?
portfolio is like clothes optional.
Dude. Yeah, so it's I can't remember all the stuff I've
No,
done.
but that
Yeah.
I think that's a
But you
deal
went
breaker
straight.
for somebody.
You understand? You went straight to the.
Big leagues.
Yeah, I'm
Big
super
league.
stoked, and I'm getting known with some of the casting directors and agents, and being on time is an important thing, and not complaining and all that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
Whatever's doing, it's working.
What's really rad about surfers, right? You're a surfer. You're becoming an aspiring actor, right? And Bo Jess Christopher.
Yeah.
We had him on the show. John Philbin.
Yep.
We had him on the show.
Tombstone, such a good movie.
Did.
What a legend to be in that
But
film.
I think, as
Point Break?
Buzzy
too?
Kerbox, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't an actor, but he's a surfer.
Brian
right?
Van Holt,
Brian Van Holt, Ted Robinson,
model / actors.
yeah,
Yeah.
because of surfing, I think you give out a different sort of aura.
I think you're right. I think it's a breath of fresh air. Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air. I think
Yeah.
for them,
It
it's a
could be.
different
It
vibe.
could be. You're a little naive, not knowing how these people have gone through been programmed or whatever,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the way they set up, and you
might
sometimes you're.
surfing maybe tempers your I don't know.
It trains you, dude, because you're dropping in.
Yeah,
You're
you're
dropping
you have
in.
some kind of different attitude about it.
You know how to be uncomfortable and be able to deal with adversity.
It felt like I was dropping in at a heavy wave at a new spot when when you're said they say action, and then all this, because that was all the attention was on me. I'm not breaking it apart between you guys in the scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all you. It's
You're not trying to run up anybody.
Yeah,
It's
you're
like-
carrying the whole scene, and it's all on you.
It's like getting a wave at the surf ranch. It's just you. No, don't blow it.
Yeah, right. You're by yourself, and the audience is watching. It's
Everybody's
just you.
watching.
And you're like, dude, can I just have a couple friends with me?
Can I get a couple
But,
warm ups?
but you get, because you surf, you have a different kind of attitude or whatever, and I think people somehow pick it up, and even Ryan Condor back
Yeah.
in the day,
Oh
right?
yeah,
He was a
Kate Moss.
full on model, right?
Yeah.
And I remember I had a conversation with him. I'm like, dude, how'd you get the modeling? He's like, dude, I was lifeguarding at Malibu, and somebody said, yeah, you should, do this. And he goes, and all the photographers, they like me because I'm normal.
Yeah.
All the other dudes are super weird and
Yeah.
arrogant or whatever.
Yeah, you ask
And
questions, you're down to
they
earth,
just
you're
like him,
disinterested,
You know,
you're
he's
just.
just got a
I
good
think-
personality.
yeah, I
and they
think-
gave him more jobs than other people because he had a better attitude.
You mean some people are fake and he's
Yeah.
genuine? And I think that's what it boils down to. Some people are fake and they're only trying to be fake to get to where they need to go and
Yeah.
climb that ladder, which seems to
Yeah.
be some kind of standard. But yeah, and then you could be just genuine. But yeah, yeah, it was great. I mean, like I said, I became friends with Patrick Gibson, the lead actor, Dexter. He just, he saw me walking off set. It was 11 o'clock at night, and we just finished shooting. We'd already been on set maybe 2 months straight. And he just, hey, let's go for a surf. And he gave me his number, and we went surfing. Maybe 2-3 weeks later in Malibu, and then again surfing at the Palm Springs Surf Club wave pool.
Sick.
Yeah, and now he's back for season 2, and I hope he just keeps blowing up because it's huge. He's already had a lot of body of work, and this is just going to take him even further. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, you meet people.
Yeah.
And surfing is a good common interest.
Yeah.
With people.
So what's next for you?
Just keep pushing forward, man. Just every day, I'm self-submitting. I have an agent too, though, but I'm my best agent. There's these websites that you have that you self-submit, and then hopefully, if I'm in the trailer for Mercy, which should come out 6 months to 5 months before the release, if I have a small piece in that would also catapult me
Oh,
to
man.
parlay that. So if you're in the trailer, even if just 2 seconds,
Yeah.
that would be enough to help me to get roles before the movie even comes out.
For sure.
Because the hard thing is people want to see that body of work, and I don't have privy to release it. You know what I mean? So it's we'll see how it
Well,
goes.
let's talk about your most important role. Board Riders Club.
Ooh, Board Riders is super cool. That's everyone's most important role. No.
Yeah, you gotta put some points on the board for the team, man.
Oh,
what other pressure?
He always does, dude.
Yeah, no,
REZZY is the go-to.
So far so good. Yeah.
Consistent.
It's a lot of fun. That's the only contest I surf.
Yeah.
Do you know that? I don't enter any other contests. I don't do any of these Challenger series. Not the ones below Challenger series. What is that? The qualifying
Q-
series.
QM,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't even know how the format is. But yeah, I'm not going to throw down $500 and do these things. It's
Yeah.
But yeah, so
You're not doing Jerry Lehman's pro
I don't
tour?
do that either. See, I don't even do that. Yeah, it's just it's I like the Board Riders. It's fun.
Yeah.
You're doing it as a group, as a team, and it's good seeing everyone's face. It's not so as cutthroat as if you were going into those other events. And we get to surf cool breaks and get all
Hang
meet
out
up,
with all the
even at this
pros.
place. Yeah, and so it's been what, like 8 years of it?
Yeah.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, maybe 9 years.
2016, right?
It's just weird watching all of us like age into different brackets.
Yeah.
I've been in the 40s forever, but I'll be aging in about another year and a half into the next deal.
I was looking so forward to getting into the 50s so I could actually, rip, and then my back goes out, and I've been in hiatus for a year and a half.
Dude, you need to get somebody on here that specializes
Yeah.
in that and dissect his brain.
Yeah.
Get free info in an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
It's just,
Everybody's different, but yeah, it'll come. I'm mentally just ready to fucking do a layback again.
oh, dude, the
Well,
last
dude,
layback was
We're
classic.
stoked we
Snapping turtle.
finally got REZZY on the podcast.
Yeah, we're going
And we're gonna do a follow up after this comes
Movie
out
comes
next,
out.
like
yeah,
in
because
early.
we could talk about health.
And
we could
then-
be here for too long. You guys have
and
spent way too long.
then we'll
Dude,
definitely.
it's 2.5 hours already.
I told him.
Why don't we just make a book? And I'll just,
I already told him. I'm like, hey, this is gonna be a couple
yeah,
parts.
all right,
Yeah.
all right.
Like,
Okay,
how
okay,
quick can
yeah.
it go? And we didn't even
Yeah,
tap.
it's gnarly.
So
Isn't that crazy?
we're gonna have you
Yeah.
come back after the Mercy, like,
Yeah.
so you have more to talk about
Of course,
that,
of
and
course.
then everything in
More
between.
things probably happen in your life.
And we didn't even get to talk about all your quick strike missions
No,
and
I know.
all the exotic, like, because
yeah, health regiment to,
well,
to be able to still
we're
surf.
fucking surfers, and we want to
Yeah.
hear about like these strike missions and getting there, and then
Totally,
the navigation because you have such like quick windows,
that
and
was crazy.
how you're able to do this like jump seat, like
That was a
friend
yeah.
of
It's all bucket list. Yeah.
like that is, I think, a whole nother conversation.
Totally. This, I think what we talked about here.
But
is
we
this
covered
is-
a little
we
bit of
covered
everything.
life. This is like intense life stuff.
Yeah.
The other stuff was just strictly fun.
No, it was killer. It was,
Like, we didn't even talk about boards. We didn't talk wave pools.
No.
We didn't talk about like trips,
Oh,
like
you're right. I forgot about that.
you know, Egypt, and like not just surf destinations, but
Yeah, you're
but
right.
you
world-
want
but
cramming in
worldly
almost
trips.
50 years of a person's life is not easy.
but worldly adventures that are not just, like I said, surf bucket list
Yeah.
destinations, but like places, Machu Picchu,
Yeah,
like,
seven wonders of the world type places,
Yeah.
archaeological sites, ancient aliens, all that shit.
and we
I was
need to
like,
go down. We tapped into a little bit of
We'll
like,
do that next time for sure.
Yeah,
Okay, but I'm
But
very
before
grateful.
we close it, I wanted I
Yes.
got a call from Eric Strobel, and we want to promote the paddle for cystic fibrosis paddle May 18th, 2025. We're gonna post this on Insta.
and we'll have a link on our site, and
Yeah.
we'll be able to like where to sign up, where to donate.
Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, but it's a paddle for raising awareness and fundraising for this organization.
Perfect.
But-
Love it. And we have a couple parting gifts for you.
Yes.
So
Dude.
I'm so stoked.
yeah,
We're on Instagram way too often, so we need to
Skosh, this
charge.
is a magnifying wireless charger power bank. I've used this. It charges your phone probably like 2 or 3 times
So
before
grateful.
it goes dead. Super handy. It just magnetizes on the back, which is epic. Our favorite,
Oh,
the bonsai bowl. Thank you, the Bard family. Joe, you're epic.
I might still go there right now after.
Um,
Skosh hat for you,
That's
baby.
Skosh hat.
Yes, yes. That's
Also, loose poncho changing towel.
There you go. You don't even need a towel. You just get
Oh,
a
my,
poncho.
my board riders one was getting kind
And
of
thanks, makes
Air
sense.
freshener.
Yeah, air freshener.
for the wetsuit that stinks in the car. Yes.
Don't be a prick. This one's Smells like surf wax.
Last but not least, we got a
Oh
little
my
gift
gosh.
card for you.
Dude.
$50. Make it
$50.
holla.
That
dude.
might be like a 2 meal stop
This is
for you.
huge.
You might be able to stretch
Well,
that.
if you had a girlfriend,
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Hey, there
was
you go.
we'd have to give you 2.
Go post up.
Wow.
So
amazing.
Hola Mexican
Pumped.
or
Mahe.
Mahe,
Or Brant,
$50.
too.
Yeah, and the brand, they're all right here in
is
Huntington
great.
and Seal Beach, Long Beach, local.
I like what you guys are doing here.
Hey,
And
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Earth Pack,
Earth Pack,
for any of your packaging needs, bags,
Boxes.
scanners, boxes, stickers. They do stickers. I think they do everything.
they do everything.
But thank you, Earth Pack.
Thank you to Northside Cafe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
And
Thank
Murph.
you
We got
Murph
late night
Electric
chocolate
Bikes.
stickers.
to Late Night with Chocolate Stickers,
There we go.
Murph Electric Bikes,
Clearweather brand shoes.
Clearweather brand shoes, Fuwax,
Fuwax.
Capacity Brewing Co.
Oh yeah, I've drank a couple of those.
Those are
Yeah.
super good.
That's good.
Ashland,
Ashland.
hard seltzer.
Can you go pick up an order, please?
Yeah, I know.
I'm dry, and my dad needs some capacity
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then what else? Did I say Fuwax?
you did.
Okay. What else?
I don't know.
Yeah. Thank you to Robert Mills
Yeah.
For-
oh shit. Oh,
for
yeah.
all the cool
He's doing our little.
shorts and reels
Yeah.
Oh,
for
cool.
YouTube.
Yeah, because we're kind of.
Oh, you guys are going into the. You guys have the YouTube as well.
We're
yeah,
not
YouTube
very
Dude, you're
confident.
getting filmed right now, bro.
I saw that. I didn't know what that was for. It's just like a lie detector test.
We're not
He's
very-
lying. He's twitching.
We're not very competent. We're very easy, but yet loose in far as tech. And the YouTube is a big platform, and we're trying to improve it. So if you're watching or listening, please
No, that's
go
cool.
support it.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to see Lyndon
visual.
on video.
Yeah. Everyone wants to see what they're talking to.
Dude.
And you got your hat.
Thank you so
You got
much.
your late night
Thank you.
chalky
Yeah.
hat.
Oh, stoked. I got
Yeah.
everything.
So you got a Skosh
Got
hat and a
this.
late night with chalky
Got
hat.
this.
Thank
Got
you
this.
guys. Thanks for
Got this.
sponsors.
Calm,
This,
Rezzy,
this,
Rezvan.
that. We're ready to go. I gotta get back.
Frickin' congratulations
Oh, thank
on
you.
the hey.
Thank you.
You like
Thank you.
I don't know. It's so awesome that you loved your dad so much and you paid your dues and you gave him an extra lease on life, and I'm sure he was stoked on it. And now you're getting karma. You're getting
He's looking down and he's seeing.
things are happening.
We're
Thank
proud
you.
of you, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, dude. Thank you. I'm very
Peace.
stoked. Thank you very much.